every day and having that, being in that dressing room, which he said he missed an awful lot. So hopefully he's in a stronger position to get that next opportunity, wherever that is and whatever that looks like.
And Swanee, you may have seen players in a similar situation. We know that for Brandon Williams, it was things that happened in his personal life and things that happened off the field that clearly affected his professional life on the field. He will have benefited, won't he? It hasn't worked out well, as Baz has said, but he was back in that dressing room environment, back playing football on the training ground, and the club at that stage in the summer probably right to give it a go.
And of course it was. I mentioned Andala there. These were like players that are filling gaps because we didn't know how big the gaps were going to be or if we were going to get any other opportunities. So the players were taking a gamble on, and the two of them we just mentioned. As for Williams, will it have him being at this club? Don't know. It could possibly have reverse effect. That it's like each club at the championship level. Personally, as his training room, he'll know personally if he's good enough to play at that level. So again, like Baz said there, it's his own self. He's got to get his own mind right to thinking, is he up for this challenge, or is it going to go somewhere on the slow pace abroad where he can, build his career that way? But as to say that it helps him being here, I don't know. I hope it has. I hope it has for the lads' mental health. And like I say, getting back up and playing again. So I say there's nothing worse than, let's say, the career he had in front of him would be taken away from him. Like I say, obviously he's got to look at himself on that side of it, but he's got an opportunity. His opportunity will come here and make up somewhere else.
But what about the planning for the next window? Because a lot of clubs will be able to do that because they're bringing in players with agreements to buy and that kind of thing. As you pointed out, there will be periods this season when the City starting 11 and bench has up to 5 or 6 loan players involved in it. We don't think that there is no mention of buy options in there. So we've seen this before when teams get promoted, that they rely a lot on loan players. Now, City were to get promoted, that leaves a very, very big situation in the summer to try and sort out quickly. Where do you understand the planning is with players like John Lundstrom, for instance, and Toby Collier, Lewis Kumas and that kind of thing? Are they being signed just to get them through this period when the EFL restrictions are in place, or are they also looking at these players as potential long-term options for next season?
I think the likes of Collier and Kumas, I think there's every chance they could get them back if they're in the Premier League, or even if they're still in the Championship. You don't know, but I think they'll be planning. They'll have a promoted list now, and they'll have a list of players that they want to sign if they stay in the Championship. That's common sense. That would be prudent, given the position they're in. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the top 2 tonight, but the bigger thing for me is if they were to win tonight, which is not going to be easy because Watford are certainly a very good team of individuals. They go 11 points clear of 7th place. That is the big thing. That's a big opportunity tonight. Yes, they go 2 points behind Coventry, which a month ago, when we were here at 4th of January, when both teams were on 41 points, I think, and Watford are above us in the table, you'd never believe, and Coventry were miles and miles away, you'd never believed it was possible. But I think, look, you've got to do what you've got to do for now, and City have gone down a different line in terms of recruitment. They've gone away from signing players from abroad, as in foreign players, the Turkish players. They've looked for experienced players in the Championship, Lundstrom, Egan, McBurney, Kieran Dowell, Paddy McNair, players that have been there and done it. You know, even Lewis Kumas, he might only be 19 or 20, but he's played best part of 80 games in the Championship for Stoke and for Birmingham City. So he's got an awful lot of experience relatively for his young age at this level. So they've got, you know, there's a lot of players in that squad now that have got Championship experience. If they were to get promoted, and they go up in the top 2, I mean, it's the fact we're having this conversation, I feel like I'm on drugs. But it is phenomenal. But if they did go up top 2, it would also give them a lot of extra time to plan for recruitment. And I don't doubt that the way Adrian operates, he would have tasked Jared Dublin and Hodgie and Mustafa and Stewart and all the guys behind the scenes that have done a phenomenal job in the last year or so, and the last few windows, to be fair, of planning ahead, because that's what sensible football clubs do, and I don't doubt that that's what they're doing, and they'll have different lists for different environments, and obviously they are, as of today, they are out of those restrictions. Unless they rack up 7 days of late payments between now and July the 1st, they will be able to trade normally from July the 1st. Obviously, if they get promoted, they're okay anyway. But PSR will still be I know the rules are changing, but that will still be a massive consideration should they get promoted anyway, given their income is, the crowds aren't huge, the ticket prices are relatively low, they don't make a huge amount of external money, and they're so reliant on the owners, so their spending cap, if you like, will be limited in what they can and can't do. So having those experienced players, if they were to go up, is absolutely crucial. But look, I think for now, just try and enjoy the ride, because a year ago we were all stressed about what might happen about the league below. Well, even if you lose, obviously you want them to win tonight, but if they were to lose tonight, they're 8 points clear of Derby in 7th. That's a phenomenal position to be in with 16 points to get games to go and three or four more home games on the spin. Enjoy it, because they're winning games, they've been consistent all season, they deserve to be where they are because of how consistent they've been. The manager's brilliant, they've got a great group of players, and just enjoy what the next 16 games might bring. They're going to lose a couple of games because it's football, that's what happens. But it's, just enjoy where we are, because it's fantastic.
Baz, thank you very much. You enjoy it.
I'm going to let mine do some work now, earn his keep. Dave's 5 minutes, you can do some work now, can't you, Michael? Bye-bye.
Baz, thank you for that. Just very quickly, psychologically, tonight, Swanee, City go and get that 11-point cushion. How big a psychological boost is that, knowing you've got that breathing space?
You've got a cushion, haven't you? Yeah, absolutely. 11 points. You say it's a dream come true as such, because they've worked hard to get there. But I still keep saying it, we've still got a lot more to come. So a lot more to come with 16 games left. I can only see it's getting better. Obviously, we're going to have that backward step certain games and think we've let ourselves down. That's going to happen. But the manager will try not to let that happen by keeping on the case, by having a go at half time. If he's not happy, he'll change things. Like I said, what he's got on the bench there, his players want to now come in, don't want to be, especially where you are in the league, because plus the bonuses will be better. So they all want to be part of that. Yeah, we'll laugh about it, but the bonuses will be there. It's like an incentive to certain players, so they won't want to be injured. If they've got a slight little niggle where you're bottom of the league and think, oh, I'm going to miss this couple of weeks. No, they'll want to be involved. So you won't see as many injured as I say you would do if they're struggling away. But yeah, it's a great position to be in if you get that 11 points gap. And there's no reason why you shouldn't. But as I say, there's a lot more to come from this team.
And hopefully that's this evening. BBC Radio Homicide, it is Homicide Sport Live from the MKM Stadium as Hull City prepare to take on Watford. With kick-off just over quarter of an hour's time, let's remind you of the team news tonight. For Hull City against Watford from Mike White.
For a City side that have won the last 4 against a Watford side winless in the last 4 in the league. 5 if you include the FA Cup for both sides. In that one, 3 changes for Sergei Kirovic's Tigers. Hirakawa and Dowell make their first full debuts. Jacob with his first start for City in a year, dropping out all down to the bench. Liam Miller, John Lundstrom and Akim Fanwa. So Panda in goal with Coyle, Egan, Hughes and Jacob the back 4. Hajimetovic and Slater the sitters. Gelhardt, Dowell and Hirakawa and McBurney up. On the bench, it's Phillips. Giles returns for the first time since that injury picked up at Borough in December. Lundstrom, Miller, Joseph Fanwa, Kumas, McNair and McCarthy. As for Watford, it's 3 changes. They lost 2-0 at home to Swansea. Their manager's gone since then. Javi Grazia, they've got caretaker managers right now. Selvik in goal, a back 4 of Ngakia and Abankwa, Funi and Bowler, Mendy the sitter, Loser and Kiembe further forward of that, with Mama and Chak Patadzi, the 2 wide players, and Dumbia up front. On the bench, Baxter, the former City keeper, Kevin, another former Tiger in Inns, Yerengard, Semedo, Mendy, Petrice, Barr, and Greaves. And the referee is Mr. Lee Doughty of Blackpool, who was last in charge of City's a City game when they beat Borough back at the Riverside in December.
Getting you closer to your club. BBC Radio Homicide Sports.
Well, Kieran Dowell makes his first Hull City start against Watford then this evening, having joined the club on an 18-month contract this month. I've been talking to him about why he chose to leave Rangers and what it's like coping with the weight of expectancy on a player at one of the old firm clubs.
The main thing as a footballer is you want to play, and from speaking with the new manager, we both agreed that like it was probably ready for a fresh start for me, and this was a great place to do it.
Did things go sour towards the end of the time?
I don't think so. I think I got injured from August, and then I was out till November, and then I kind of knew about the whole interest then. So it was almost just a case of, I spoke with the manager, I said to him, if you need me, I'm here. But we both agreed that the best scenario was probably for me to move on.
So when did you first become aware of interest from the Tigers?
It was probably around early November maybe, which was a text from Lenny. Probably just Jared sounding me out. But yeah, early doors, like, and then obviously watched games since that, and seeing how the lads were getting on, and they've been on a great run really.
Yeah, what do you make of the progress that City have made this season? Watching on from afar, how surprised have you been by the level of progress this season?
Yeah, it's a funny league, isn't it? Like we always say at the start of a championship season, like it's anyone's game to go up really. Obviously the lads stayed up. It was towards the end of last season, wasn't it? Pretty close to the end. So yeah, they've recruited well, brought good lads in, brought a good manager in, and so it's just a good combination for success really.
Let's talk about what you learned at Rangers. Obviously, a huge force in football, huge weight of expectancy from the supporters, and those obvious battles between the two clubs in Glasgow. What did you learn from that experience?
It's a different league to play in. Like I said earlier, it's anyone's go in the championship, whereas up there you're expected to win every game, and you're expected to win the league really, which we didn't. I didn't manage to do while I was there. So there is that added pressure because there's an underlying expectation already there. Whereas here at Hull, for example, no one probably expected them to be in this position at the start of the season. So you can sort of gain that momentum. It's probably a bit harder to pick up the momentum up in Scotland. So probably what I've learned is to maybe detach yourself from things like that, yeah.
There's often this debate about where top level Scottish football lays in terms of how it equates to English football. You've experienced both leagues. Where would you put Rangers in terms of those top two divisions?
It's tough. Like you say, it's spoke about a lot. I think, yeah, it'd probably be higher end of the championship. They probably fancy themselves to get promoted from the championship. But who knows? It hasn't happened, has it?
But given the nature of the expectancy of Rangers, did it teach you a lot in terms of mental toughness, in terms of weight of expectancy, how to deal with that?
Yeah, like I said earlier, probably you're aware of the expectation that you have to win every game, pretty much, that you're involved in. So that like you say, there was that, you have to have that ability to detach yourself from that and focus on what the manager's telling the team and what within the building they're trying to do.
Got a bit of previous, but as an opposition player against Hull City, haven't you? In the past, you've liked scoring against Hull City. For Nottingham Forest and for Wigan, you scored hat-tricks. So you and Hull City have met before in many ways.
Yeah, very decent scoring record against Hull. Just a probably a coincidence really. Like I've spanned over a few years. First hat-trick was in 2017, and then one in COVID, and then scored again against them for Norwich. So spread out, nothing to do with the club or the manager, but for some reason I've done well against them.
On a personal level, that hat-trick for Nottingham Forest must have been special, given it was the first in your career.
Yeah, that was probably my first season in professional football. Played a couple of times for Everton, and then went on loan to Forest. So no, that was a special moment for me. One I'm proud of.
Kieran Dowell speaking to me ahead of starting for Hull City tonight. Kieran Dowell, when you look at his age, he's 28, Swanee, but you look at the clubs that he's played for, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United, Derby, Wigan, Birmingham City, they're all loans, plus Norwich, Rangers, Everton and Birmingham City. It's a really good mix of clubs for a team like Hull City that need a quality player with championship experience.
Yeah, and there's a lot of quality clubs you just mentioned there. Like I said, they're not all going to be wrong. You can take a chance on somebody and it not work out. Obviously, yeah, he's been around and seen a bit. Like I said, the experience, the expectation levels, playing up in Scotland. But yeah, there's a player in there. It's like sometimes they need to find a home, can he find his home here and like settle down and get himself up and running. and help us have that big push back to the Premier League. That'd be nice to see.
And he talked to me in the rest of that interview, which is on BBC Sounds, about the characters at the club. He knows John Lundstrom, he's got to know Charlie Hughes and Joe Gelhart's well aware of them. So he adds to that character, doesn't he? I need to point out that he pointed out to me that he's not from Liverpool. His parents are from Liverpool. He's from Ormskirk, down the road. But another character in the dressing room, and another sort of part of that group.
Another personality. I'm not saying different characters, personalities, but at the end of the day, you can get them all together. And that's a good thing. It's down to the management. And let's not forget the recruitment team behind all this has brought these players in. These players that know each other, been at the certain levels, that they know what they can do. They're not trying to bring players into gamble as much, where at the start of the season we had nobody, so we did have to gamble on that side of it. And let the players now go into the fizzle back out and bring the players in, the true solid players that they know they can trust, and that's what we've got at the moment.
Tony, back to you. We've got commentary of the Tigers on the way shortly. The lights just dimmed around the stadium as the midweek light show begins. The song is called Under the Lights, am I right?
Yeah, and there's some interested sort of watchers and sort of onlookers with this one. The Hull City media team have got the Hull KR media team and some of their staff here, because obviously this is going to be their stadium for the night in a couple of weeks' time for the World Cup Challenge when they play the Brisbane Broncos, and the light show and things like that will form part of the evening entertainment. So I know they're coming along and sort of doing a bit of a recce almost. I say an unfamiliar stadium, but it is as far as they're being the hosts and everything else. So yeah, they're coming along tonight to see how City do it and how it's put on in this stadium.
Yeah, a lot of notes being taken tonight ahead of this one. So another day and another Watford managerial departure. Javi Gracia resigned on Sunday following a 2-0 defeat at home to Swansea City. City head coach Sergei Kirich giving Mike his reaction to the news ahead of tonight's game in less than 10 minutes.
I can say it's first Watford, so yes, I know a lot about Watford because Ryan Bilic was coach there, so I know a lot things, and okay, they are now in a bad moment, and but there is quality. I watched Swansea game, I watched Blackburn game, so they took just 1 point, but easily they can take 4 points in these 2 games. So this is 50-50 game, there's a lot of quality, a lot of young players, very big potential, and we will see now. It's maybe a little difficult for us for preparation, because we don't know, it's under 21 coach will be in charge, and we will see. We will try to prepare everything and focus, it's on us, so how we will perform, and I hope we will be good.
Yeah, well, let's talk about you. Obviously, you're finding ways to win. We keep talking about that. You said you weren't happy about elements of the performance on Saturday. Where can your side improve?
Yeah, we can be much better in possession. This is main. That we cannot lose every 1-2 second ball. This is not good football, because you are chasing all the time. You are tired, and it's not easy to control anything. And this is something that we can improve, and we must improve for sure. That we will be better on the ball, and also some. In face of defense, I think we were good, and maybe in the last third, better decisions. When you have an open shoot to shoot on the ball, then you can play to your teammate, you can play. But just better decision last third, and better in possession overall.
And this starts a run of 5 straight home games, including the FA Cup. How welcome is that?
Good. It's always better to play home. I think that we took a lot of points at home. Some games, but this championship, you never know. And we will try to get more points as we can. Because I think I spoke already that it's very important where we will be end of February, and this is now the moment. So this February, if we will take points, then we will be in very good position.
And the number 5 is very prominent at the moment. I know you always like these little stats and records that you can achieve. It's nearly 5 years since this side won 5 league games on the bounce. What would that say about this team right now?
That we have a good team, and then we will try everything to break this record. Yes, it's not easy, but we will try. I already said we have to be enjoying this moment, enjoying the journey. not what is our target from the end of the season. Germany, this is good. That we are joined. Sometimes you are disappointed, sometimes you are euphoric. So the key is in the middle. So we will try to do everything to be successful.
Get the latest on the Tigers, the Mariners, and the Iron.
How satisfying a win is that?
Why do you feel that your players took that approach in the first half? A tale of two halves, probably, that game.
Just to clarify, because fans are asking.
All the analysis, all the opinion.
It's definitely a decision, we must respect that, but I think that this league needs a back.
He still has a long-term future here, though, does he?
That depends on how it goes, but that's the same for a lot of teams.
One of our best performers. Probably should have seen the game out, but overall, I think the draw was a fair result. Trying to put on any outgoings.
We will see. Cal is so great that nobody wants to go.
Search for your club on BBC Sounds and hit subscribe.
Every game live. BBC Radio Homicide Sports.
Well, we're already significantly past the point we got to when these two teams first attempted to play each other 4 weeks ago. The teams are out and it's full-match commentary in all frequencies here on Homicide Sport Live of the Tigers against Watford. In the commentary box, former record signing Peter Swan and Mike White.
Nothing frosty about that introduction from James Hogarth. Cheers, Jim. Swanee, Baz mentioned about Swanee's mittens. He said, nice mittens. It's more like oven gloves. It's like you've come ready to do a barbecue. We can't take it at this kind of weather, Swanee.
It's not right, because I was like feeling my leg and I thought my leg's gone numb. And I saw you smiling and I realised it was yours.
And anyone who thinks that's for comedy value, that is the absolute truth.
Not that I know, you've got to be careful, because people might think I'm going crazy.
Swanee, they've listened to you long enough to know that that's not just happened. We are ready for a game of football that will take place tonight between these two sides. It was one that ended up getting called off about 20 minutes before that first game just after New Year, back at the beginning of January. No such situation tonight. And from the Tigers' point of view, they go into this in far better shape as far as personnel. They're actually the team higher in the table now. They're the ones in third, whereas at the time it would have been third Watford versus Port City. They're not on a great run, Watford, either. They've lost winless in the last 4, I should say. They've drawn 2 and lost 2, whereas City looking to go 5 straight wins for the first time in nearly 5 years. Swanee, things are looking up at the moment. No one's getting too carried away. But it's nice to enjoy what City are producing right now, isn't it?
100% is. The manager, he's definitely won't be the one that's getting carried away. Now you look at the Watford team, at the individuals, they've got a team of individuals. Now you get that team of individuals into the unity that we've got, you're top of the league by 5-10 points. The hardest thing to get is a squad of players that all believes in what the manager wants to do. And like I said, we're not all going to play week in, week out, but we're given a chance. It's up to them to try and keep the shirt. So that's what we've got at the moment, it's like the unity of, and you can just feel success with us. Yeah, we're going to have a couple of, like I say, backward steps in the next 16 games, but like Baz says, let's enjoy what we've done, where we've got to where we are. I say, yeah, if we're going to slip up, let's not get on the backs, let's support them again next following week, because we can go on the points clear the 7th today. Who would have thought of that start of the season? Come on, nobody. But we're here, enjoy it. Look, the fans are loving it. They're up to me to entertain. Let's entertain, man. I say, keep cracking on, can't we?
The two teams in the huddles just outside of the centre circles. The axe swapped ends after the coin toss. City will defend the goal to our right-hand side as we look at it, which is the south stand end. So they will attack right to left towards the north stand, which is mainly populated by Tiger supporters, but a far smaller travelling contingent of Watford on this February midweek night, as opposed to what was the final day of the Christmas New Year break when the original fixture was set to take place. It will be Regan Slater on the centre circle, the centre spot that will get us underway. Just waits for the referee to just give him the show. He's just come across to have a quick word with them as well. What are they doing? They're just checking on the net. The keeper's in there. Nicholas Selvig, the assistant referee, is checking it as well. So the just making sure that at the moment
We had that problem with that goal before being so high, remember?
I do remember they had to adjust it, didn't they? Yeah. It was an issue with the
It was to do, at the time it was to do with the rugby clause, wasn't it, and the fillings for it and everything else, but the checking
No,
the
it
net.
wasn't. It was to do with you being too high.
Oh, the net side of it, I remember, sorry, yeah, I'm thinking of a different one where the post, the crossbar was too high and the whole goal was too high because of the rugby markings. But you remember with the net, and it seems to be still, is he still checking it?
Yeah. He's waiting for someone to come and sort it out. We're not in a rush, are they?
No.
No.
There's always something. This fixture's not destined to get started, Tommy.
Well, Langford's still stood behind the goal, so he must be waiting for someone to tape up.
Yeah. Can't make this up, can you? So we were literally just about to get started. Regan Slater was set, the referee was there.
The ground moving to mend it, whatever's the problem.
No.
The linesman's still stood there.
So the linesman's there, you've got a senior steward in a navy
The
jacket.
steward's got to do nothing with the goals, has he? So he's got to do the groundsman's got to come and deal with something.
Well, that's obvious, but that's what, in his position, with one of the senior stewards, he'll be communicating something. So the balls, a couple of balls just been kicked around at the moment to keep warm because it is a very fresh February evening, Swabby, isn't it?
I'm fine, Michael.
With your oven mitts.
The big golf clubs, Michael. Dog blanket. Got 2 coats on.
Regular listeners will know the dog blanket goes with you every day.
Physios, the physio's on. They've only brought the physio on.
They're,
So to take the net up.
it's down at the bottom, there's a little rip by the look of it, down in that bottom corner. And they're finally doing something with it. Championship football, ladies and gentlemen, on the BBC from Radio Homicide. Mike and Swanee waiting for Hull City against Watford to get started the day after the transfer window closed. City not doing any incoming business yesterday. It was always expected to be the case unless they had to make a last minute move should anyone be sold.
Sacked in the morning.
And that's the City fans, I think. Yeah.
But surely they tested it.
You would have thought so. They usually do. They go around and do a little yanking the top, don't they?
Lyman gives the word.
Well, the studio being naughty, leave it. You know, we're trying to do a professional, clean broadcast here, and you've got
Well, eventually.
James in the studio trying to wind us up. We're not getting going yet. The referee's just doing a few little exercises to keep himself warm. And now, finally, we can get underway. That's good to know, isn't it? Right, what have we got? Let's see if we can finally get this one started. 3 minutes after it should be. Regan Slater's got the ball on the spot. The floodlights are on. It's a freezing cold night. And the chance to go within 2 points of the top 2. The automatic promotion places in the championship awaits the Tigers with victory, which would be a 5th straight one. And we are started. Regan Slater lays it back to Eva Panda, and a reminder the City as we look. Attack right to left in this first half towards the North Stand, and it's going to be volleyed away by Watford, who are in a royal blue shirt, white shorts and blue socks, away kit, and in their familiar yellow home, obviously close to the amber shirts at the Tigers, or black shorts and amber socks as well. Get the ball down that left side, should be shown to Coyle, he's able to win it back, and Slater will just lay it behind to Eva Panda, who's ball away. It's not a good one. They'll get a throw-in out of it if it's headed out by Mark Bowler. His distribution, his ball of feet, is the weak area for Eva Panda Swan. He's a great shot stopper, but at times he lets himself down with the distribution.
Yeah, they can't be good at everything, can they? But like I said, on that occasion, there's no reason really to play the ball back into him. He could have gone back, could have turned and gone forward.
Yeah, he was 25 yards out at that point. Watford have got it back with Mark Bowler. It's going to be sent up towards the City penalty area, but Egan heads it away about 5 yards outside the box. Then Watford will get it back, and they'll bring it forward inside City territory, where it's Kayembe who plays it across to Loser. Then away to that left-hand side to Bowler, who'll stretch his left foot out to bring it under control. Then play it behind. Got some support there with Jakubitadze. Then inside to Loser. The Watford captain's going to be floating out to this near right side to Othman Mama, and then Jacob can get it back for City and play the ball away. Hirakawa nearly nips in, but a chance from Ngakia. He'll cross one in. Hughes has to dive and head that away. Jacob just needs to get it out from under his feet with someone nibbling at his heels and puts it out for a Watford throw-in.
Done well there, Jacob. A couple of occasions defensively under pressure. Made the right decision. That decision was just to get the ball out of play and get reset again. So it was in a dangerous area for him to try and do anything else with it.
And Gaki, the Watford number 2, the former West Ham youngster with the throw-in. He'll get this cross in as it comes back to him. That one hits the side netting. And it's a goal kick for City, who've made 3 changes from the side that won at Blackburn on Saturday. Coming into the side, Yu Hirakawa and Kieran Dowell making their full debuts for the Tigers. Matty Jacob, his first start for the club since they faced Stoke a year ago. It was the 1st of February 2025, the last time he started for his hometown club. So it's Pander in goal. A back four, Acoy the captain, Egan, Hughes and Jacob. Slater the sitter, along with Hadjimetovic, who looks maybe as though he's pushing up, as they did on Saturday, Swanee, with a single sitter, and then Hadjimetovic and Dowell up front, or further forward, McBurney up front, Gelhardt on the right, and Hirakawa on the left wing. As Hughes just steps inside away from Dumbia, and then sends a long ball forward up towards Gelhardt. Swanee spotted it, then the flag went up, and 3 minutes in, it's goalless and a free kick to Watford. Peter Swan's with us, former record signing. There we had 2 in the space of 10 minutes for you, Swan.
It's a long time back in that. Long time back, Michael. As time moves on, money's got more. It's the price of what you get for your player now. 200 grand back in the day for like 20 million. Now, would you say? Probably. I'm pushing the boat a bit.
That may be a little bit.
I wish house prices would have looked at it. Would have been alright.
I thought I'd humour you a little bit on that one, but yeah. Headed away by Egan. We're on FM Digital and Freeview tonight. BBC Radio Homicide Sport Live. As that one goes out for a Watford throw on that far left-hand side in front of the east stand. Watford have got Selvik in goal. Ngakia, Abankwah, Fooney and Bowler the back four. Mendy, Loser and Kiembe the 3-man midfield. Marmer on the right, Chakapatadze on the left, and Dumbia up front. Give you the 2 benches in a second, but here's Marmer. Turns it inside, it's about 35 yards out, worked quickly away by Chakapatadze out to Bowler. He'll turn it in towards the edge of the City box, then Loser will play it out again towards Chakapatadze. It comes in to Kiembe. Now back to Mendy, who just sitting in there midway inside that City half. It's with Watford captain Loser once more. He's got the little man bun tied up behind his head, the long hair just bobbling around underneath that. It's been pushed all the way back to halfway. They just feed a ball inside in towards Fooney, and then it's taken from him. Slater with a foot in, but loses out to Chakapatadze, and that ball was almost threaded through to Marmer, but that's a good read from Jacob to cut that one out, and then he's in there with another challenge. Matty Jacob, I was going to say, on fire first few minutes.
Yeah, look, watching how Watford are playing, it's like a youth team, not a 21s team. I know they've got a lot of young kids in there, but like the short passing, the 5-10 yard passing and movement, little triangles. It's
that routine drill kind of football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an easy ball, that.
Not too easy there for Loser, but again, Jacob's in there just to dispossess him. Oh, it runs to a Watford player. Now it's picked up, maybe a chance for Kiembe from range. Slater blocks it, nearly runs to McBurney, but there's 2 Watford players back there, and then a third one in Mendy, and then Yu Hirakawa's nicked it, as you can hear from the fans there. Gives to Dowell, who has to just dip behind him to get it. Slater dummies one way, then keeps the ball. He's got a bit of space down the middle and finds it. Here is Dowell. Dowell might fancy it himself. Tries to slide it through from McBurney, just too much on it, into a bit of traffic. Maybe not the right option. Thought about it, had the idea, but couldn't execute it, and it's a Watford ball.
Yeah, it's all from Hirakawa, wasn't it? Like coming in from this left-hand side, beat a couple of players. Finds a great ball into Dowell, who looks to be the player that's looking to play the little killer passes between the centre halves or the full-back. I think he's got to realise how quick McBurney's not. He's left it 34 yards in front, but not been to the club long enough yet. But he'll soon find out what pace he needs to put on the ball for McBurney to get a chance to win that.
There she Hughes to you. We'll hear that a lot tonight from the fans. And Hirakawa just holds the ball up and gives it back to Matty Jacob. Good to see him getting another chance back in the side. It's obviously at the expense of injury, Swanee, but...
Yeah, I've always liked that. I thought it's like I say, he's never let you down. Probably finds himself in that position of occasions, but going forward, he likes to go forward. We've seen he's got a goal in him.
That's a lovely ball by Slater to Hirakawa. He's got in front of Ongaki, it goes down. Referee's not interested in the claims for a foul, and I think he's probably right on that one. Seems to be a fair tussle between two players. City fans more than the players were calling for it, Swanee.
Yeah, he's got himself in front of him there. He's got to stay on his feet. As soon as he got himself in front, he was looking for that little touch to go to ground, which he was favourite to get there, didn't he?
And here come Watford now trying to break. Jacobs being beaten with a drop of the shoulder, but Hughes is there to clear the crossing. Sergei Yakirovich wasn't happy that Slater and Dowell didn't cut the ball out at source over on the far side near the halfway line, Swanee.
No, see, body action or body movement on there.
He's ranting to himself at the moment about it, isn't he? Because that could have easily turned into a quick counter-attack for Watford, but City equal to it.
And that's probably what they're going to try and do. Was it Derek
Payne, yeah.
Yeah, he was saying that's what they'll probably try and do, but they've not got the ball forward quick. They've got the ball through the lines, haven't they? They've kept the ball well. At times, Watford, but saying, it's only 20-yard passes.
For those of you who just joined us, that was Derek Payne, who's BBC Three Counties summariser, spoke to us before 7 o'clock, gave us an insight into tonight's opponents. As this ball's going to be played forward by Watford, should go over Egan. Over Egan, that's what I was going for. It was a bit over eager on the pass.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Sometimes they just sit for you, don't they? Just for a little tapping. Slater's going to sweep a ball out to this left-hand side, but Ongaki gets there in front of Hirakawa. And Jacobs been beaten, that's a couple of times now. Just need to keep an eye on that one. As
like I said, Mohamed's himself been onside on that occasion. Got inside, got spun. And the space. But good ball to get back and, like I said, make a decision and come back in field rather than going beyond him.
As Bowler gets in there behind Coyle can't stop it going for a corner, and it does. I was just laughing because he was just checking his foot there, and I thought, has he got an injury already? I asked Sergei yesterday how he was. I said he was limping towards the end. He said he's always limping. He's our captain, but he'd play without a leg.
He's always in the walls,
He is, but he puts himself in those kind of places where it's going to happen, isn't it?
The recoil, said players not with it.
No, it's what you'd expect from him. 201st City League appearance. Hit 200 on Saturday at Blackburn. This is a Watford that the Tigers need to deal with. 9 minutes in, played short, then played out against that left-hand side. Chekhovitadze sent it in, met by Hughes at the edge of the 6-yard box, and then cleared away out as far as Ongaki, who heads it out to this right side to the solid-looking KMB. And he shrugs off a challenge and then goes to the angle of the area, squares the ball in towards Loser. He can't control it, there's that much on it. It was how you'd imagine that the pace and power that he put on that pass, KMB, you'd imagine if he was a boxer, that's the kind of punch he'd have behind that fist of his. He's a solid player, isn't he?
He looks it.
No, not at all yet. A couple of brief moments for the Tigers, but that's been it. There's, they need to just steady this game down a little bit and work some control into it. As Slater just taps it back to Egan. He should keep his back bar in Panda at the moment. He'll just square it to Hughes, who's got about 5 yards to step forward into. Hirakawa controls it eventually, but looked to get Jacob away. If he had done, there was some space, but it was blocked by KMB, and now Watford have it. And it's Dundee who sends it out to this right side to Marmer, looking to try and take on Hughes. Hughes goes with him, misses the tackle, gets in by Marmer, dragged back with the assistant referee says it's already gone out for a goal kick. City on the bench tonight. We've got Dylan Phillips, Ryan Giles returns to the squad for the first time since December. John Lundstrom, Liam Miller and Akim Fan were the 3 players that have dropped out from Saturday's starting 11. Carl Joseph, Lewis Kumas, who of course got the winner at Blackburn, Paddy McNair and Carl McCarthy. Still waiting to see Toby Collier involved in a City squad. He did have that calf injury that's kept him out since November when he was on loan at West Brom. And I think they're just trying to ease him back in and just be steady. Plenty of time in this second half of the season. And there'll always be a bit of an air of caution about the Tigers probably right now, with all the injuries, Swanee.
Yeah, there will be. They will. Early goals at Championship. Blackburn beating Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 and Sheffield United getting beat at home. Oxford 1-0.
There you go, Sheffield Wednesday, who now have Joel Dala in their side, recalled by Manchester City yesterday in the transfer window, and loaned straight back out to Sheffield Wednesday. One that City might revisit in the summer. I think they see him as a promising youngster. I mean, bear in mind, he played literally 19 senior games. His debut for City was his senior debut in football. There was glimpses there in the early stages, Swanee, wasn't there, with Joel Dala? Yeah.
It's offside.
There's offside against Watford over on that far left side. Bowler and Chakabatati not on the same page. They've got Nathan Baxter, the ex-City keeper, on the bench. Kevin, Tom Ince, another ex-City player as well. Yerengard, Semedo, Mendy. It's another Mendy. They've got two in the squad. This one follows Mendy. Jeremy Patrice, Quado Bois, and Jack Greaves, the youngster, making up the bench. As Hughes manages to find Jacob. Can he slip in Hirakawa? He can. And he's onside. Down this left-hand side. 6 yards, tries to cross. Blocked and out for a corner. And I think the bank was hurt himself, whether the ball caught him in the face there or not. I think it, or maybe in the midsection.
Worse than his face.
No, lower than the midsection. There we go. Now he's turned round.
Great ball by Jacob. The centre half, the full-back, great pace. The lad showed great pace to get across. I didn't think he was going to get there, but he got across for the goal. Just about to whip it in. I've got no block on it.
Oh, Bancois still doubled over. He's just doing the old abacus check. 1, 2. He's still.
This one, do it.
Oh no. City are going to have this corner eventually once a Banquet waddles back into position. A bit of the old, I was going to say John Wayne, another one for the digital audience. Is a corner for City, left-hand side at the north stand. Metovic in towards Hirakawa, back out to the position. There's a chance and the shot goes wide. It was Yelmark that was coming in. Couldn't get the contact on it though. Had he done so, Swanee, that was a big opportunity for what? 13 yards out?
It was a big opportunity just to get the right touch on it. Like I said, it's well worked. Gelhardt made a great run. All he's going to do is direct. I say all he's going to do is the quality that Gelhardt possesses. He thought he should have done better. So he didn't get a deflection on it or a block on it. It looked like it opened up. Quite a great set piece.
The referee, I think, just checked on a Banquet there. I'm not saying if he's. I'm not sure whether he was saying come on, get on with it, or are you all right there, son? But the ball's launched away from that goal kick by Egil Selvik, the Norwegian keeper. 5 caps for his country. He's in old pink tie. Yellow ball is at halfway at the moment. When Chakabatati gets it, then a loser will come deep to just shift it across the back 4. And played on this diagonal to this Watford right-hand side. They're attacking the south stand, left to right as we look down from high at the top of the west stand upper here in the press box. Here's Hirakawa, midway inside his own half. Tight on this touchline, played back to Eva Panda in the bright steward yellow. Trademark Swanee. As Louis Cole just a little bit too much attention on Chakabatati. He goes down easily, and that's a free kick. 14.5 minutes gone, goalless here at the MPM Stadium, Peter Swan.
Yeah, well, we've obviously can't switch off with teams like Watford. They've got individuals that can turn it on. We've seen that already. 15 minutes gone. They've got players that say they like to get forward. No manager at the moment, so fresh air for them. Breathing space for some of the players, giving opportunities. Proper pressure on under the floor. It's down to us now to go and manipulate the pace of the game, which at the moment is not really going to the game.
No, it's stuttery, isn't it, at the moment? The opening 15 minutes. Charlie Daniels, Dan Gosling, and Adrian Mariappa are the caretaker staff in charge of this Watford side after Javi Grazia left. Apparently he did leave, unlike dozens of previous Watford managers under Gino Pozzo. Yeah, something like that, yeah. The family football business, Gino Pozzo owns Watford, his father Gianpaolo owns Udinese. There's often a little bit of a link up, in fact members of the current Watford squad on loan from their sister club, bought it in 2012. Manager of the month at Watford isn't an award, it's a job situation, it's a recruitment policy. To throw into Watford on this near right-hand side in that royal blue. Thrown in by Ngaki in towards Kiembe. Slips a quick ball out to this right side. Then Ngaki with a cross. Hughes sticks a with a foot out. Judged by Watford there. Got a touch on it.
A little triangle on it. Little flex here and there. Opens up. And the quality of the ball in the box wasn't the best by Watford. But yeah, the build-up play was good.
City have had a couple of moments like that, but that's been it, hasn't it? There's been no real control of the game so far from the Tigers. As Gelhardt goes across the close down bowler on that far-hand side, the Georgian international Chakabatati will seal off the ball. He's got that Jack Grealish style low socks down, barely any shin pads in there. He's going to slip a ball to this right side to Marmer. Not the best of crosses, and thankfully it wasn't, because City can come away with it, and then Jacob is fouled as he was trying to clear that ball away.
That's a bit of a worry about the time getting behind the back of us. I mean, they are opening us up.
Yeah, they are. You can see Sergei Kurich just down talking to others on the dugout, in the dugout at the moment. After Jacob's just been caught open a few times, Swanee, you've
Yeah,
picked up on it.
the crowd down this right side, and there we go again.
The ball away, that was cheap by City, and already Watford have got it midway inside the Tigers' half. Strong challenge there from Jacob. Headed away by Hughes, only as far as Ngakia though. Then it's KMB and a foul by the Tigers.
Jacob, he's involved in the first 17 minutes or more.
Yeah. Manager certainly not happy. He's having a word with the fourth official about something as well. But they've got a free kick of Watford about 2 or 3 yards in from this right-hand touchline. Imran Loser and Jeremy Ngakia are over it. Loser, the Moroccan international midfielder.
They don't look the biggest of teams, do they?
No, they don't.
I thought it should pose under any threat. It's that ball.
Ngakia with a free kick. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite. It doesn't, as Hadjimetovic floats the ball away. Did that take a touch off a Watford man? It did, but the linesman on this side spotted it. 18 minutes in, it's Hull City 0, Watford 0, and it's far from a classic at the moment.
No, I don't know what's going to get it as quick.
Control is the word that's lacking. I think of Swanee at the moment that City are lacking in this game. They've not really been able to string anything.
They look like they're playing together.
Yeah.
So the pressure's off them. I say they're on a losing run out there. Coming away from home and expected to win on a team that's won 4 on the bounce. Not really, so we've got to play with a bit of freedom and look okay at the moment where we need to get up.
Yeah.
If we've got the ability to put it together, it's not a problem. See that.
Dowell drills one across to this left-hand side, which Hugh has to stretch to get, but does. Brings it to this left side to Jacob, who tells him to go in field. He'll drive a diagonal ball in towards McBurney, but he's beaten to it by Fooney, and then KMB can pick it up about 20 yards from halfway, take it closer to that halfway line, then out to Shakabetadze on that left side, back behind to Bowler. Now Fooney across to his keeper Selvig. He'll float a left footer out to this right touchline to Ngakia. Then a bank was there, and it's sent up towards halfway. Hughes was climbing up on Dumbia. Looked to the referee, wanted a free kick for it.
Yes. Get him going at the moment. That's the thing, like, we need to get on the ball. I say, club plays in and around, because Watford, for me, look like they're happy today. They come out and they look comfortable playing in front of us.
This ball played up towards Shakabetadze at halfway, and then Coyle gets it. Free kick given away though. Watford ball. And it is still goalless. 20 minutes. It is. Well, just give me some information in a second. There was a minute's applause there just taking place as we hit 19 minutes. I'll bring James Hogarth in just a second. Watford have possession. They're taking it up towards halfway. We'll wait till there's a breaking play here. Stride forward by Fooney. Tempted cross hits the head of Hadjimetovic, but still runs into the path of Marmer, the number 42 for Watford. He's hassled and hurried by Hirakawa, and that forces him to turn it back to Ngakia, but he's got space to drive into, far too much space. Then squared ball, maybe a chance for Loser. Drives a shot just wide. Took a touch, says Loser. The referee disagrees and says it's a goal kick. That was agonisingly close. A big opportunity there. We'll get thought from Swanee first, and then we'll bring James in. Swanee, that was too close for comfort.
Again, great play by Watford, the interchange in the passing, the little quick passes opened up there, they played into the midfield line, let the ball go through his legs to Loser, who, I say, he thinks he's took a deflection, and by the looks of it, the rest of the players possibly did take a deflection, but that took the paint off the left-hand side post, and Pandora nowhere near it. James Hogarth?
Yeah, the 19-minute applause were for Jason Redfern, a City fan who's sadly recently passed away at the age of 47.
Our thoughts and condolences to family and friends. There's respect shown on the 19th minute here at the MKM Stadium. BBC Radio Homicide, nearly 22 minutes gone and the ball swept out to the right. And we're going to see that flag go up. Loser will keep it in. The flag stays down. Just lays it back behind to Marma, who's in support. He's got Loser again on this right touchline. Played in field towards Ngakia. Check the club 6 years ago. 131st appearance for Watford. McBurney nearly takes it from Shakabatadze, but somehow the Georgian gets it back, and he might fancy one from about 25 yards out. Shot, and Eva Panda with an athletic, acrobatic dive. He needed to make the save. Whether he needed the full athleticism, I'm not sure, but he's denied the Georgian and pushed it out for a corner, and it remains 0-0 at the midway point of the first half.
Well, they look good, don't they? If we're talking about, like, sitting here watching, being neutral, you're thinking, they'll look a decent team. The Watford look like they should be the team like fourth in the league. But I think running not long back. There was.
Of course, on the right side, there's a header that goes close. And that was a big chance, and I think it was Fooney who was coming in who caught the header, Swanee.
It was, yeah. Again, you can feel the fans now. Come on, let's get into this game. Miles away from it at the moment.
So Panda denying Shakabatadze with the save, and then from that corner, Fooney coming in. I won't say completely unchallenged, but they weren't
around it.
Yeah, but they weren't quite.
It was a free header.
Yeah. And wide, thankfully, from a City point of view, that has to be a bit of a wake-up call for the Tigers, because they've not fully switched on to this game yet.
Not started, have we?
No. Thankfully, it's goalless at the moment. Nothing. I'll say nothing clear-cut. That's the best chance so far, isn't it? I mean, Shakabatadze's a good effort from range, but Panda's denied him. But that could have easily hit the back of the net.
Better chance.
Oh, with the shot just wide, yeah, exactly, yeah. The one that, yeah, as you said, nearly took the paint off the upright. Out for a City throwing over on that far right-hand side as they attack right to left in this first half in amber and black. And the ball is squared by Egan to Hughes. As I said earlier, probably the best bits of business that City have done in this window, keeping players like that at the club. Swanee is.
Yeah, it has been.
It's sent across towards that far side, intended for Gelhardt, but Mark Bowler goes up and just knocks the header away. Bowler, the former Arsenal youngster, who's had a time in Turkey with Samson Sport, played at Blackpool as well. That's a mixture of clubs for you, isn't it? It's Kyle Windsor throwing about 10 yards out down that right-hand side. He's got some support with him in Dowell if he wants to use him. He's got McBurney trying to move himself into position in the penalty area. He throws it in towards Gelhardt. Now comes back to Coyle, back to Dowell. Dowell just steps inside. He's got Slater. Might fancy a shot, look to try and thread it through. That was definitely a training ground move. You can see Dowell had made it, but now Watford are going to try and break at the other end. It's a 2-on-2. City trying to get numbers back. Shakabatadze checks his run, easy for me to say. Then played infield towards Loser. Then worked out to this near right-hand side to Marma. Marma into KMB, backfield to Loser, shaping up for a left-footed shot. Instead, he goes to Shakabatadze, left-hand side of the area. Curling crossing into a dangerous area. Egan gets the head on and knocks that one away. Out to this right-hand side and goes out for a Watford throw-in. Taken quickly. Watford wanted to get on with it.
Yeah, it's going to be Watford at the moment.
Yeah, they're looking the more positive, aren't they? The more likely. Here's KMB in towards Loser, who's just drifting in and around, isn't he?
The show for a minute.
And that ball, not a good one there. Yeah. And the flick from Marma goes out for a City throw-in. Yeah, Loser's he's having free reign right now, isn't he? And Shakabatadze as well, to be fair.
Yeah, touched his teeth nearly fell out there. So decent player as well there.
Yeah. And free kick given against Watford for a little tug and a grab on McBurney. Hence the ironic cheers from the Tigers fans. City just a 1 loss in 11 games. That defeat on New Year's Day against Stoke since losing to Middlesbrough here in early December. 9 league wins in 12. It's been quite the run for the Tigers, as that ball intended for Hirakawa was always going to be a challenge the minute it bounced up and went high. A diminutive figure as McBurney with a little shoulder there, and it was on a banquet. He was trying to claim he was fouled. City are going to get the throw in as a result. Referee, fair play to him.
Yeah, fair play.
Made it clear as well that he thought it was a shoulder challenge. Here's Hirakawa, about 8 yards out, forced off the ball, fairly again says the referee, and then loser will win the throw-in off the shins of Hadjimetovic.
Yeah, twice Hirakawa's gone down like around bodies. Don't go down much, big brought down, you know what I mean? He was looking for a big break to play there and in control of the game.
Hirakawa making his first start, having had 3 sub appearances. You want one?
Or trying to get in control of the game.
Yeah. Long the ball launched away. Coyle had to be inch perfect with that one, otherwise Shaka Batati maybe had a bit of a free run. The ball will run loose to this right side door, bounces out for a Watford throw-in. As Dumbia wanted to take it quickly, it slipped out of his hands, got a second attempt at it. Here's Ngakia, now a loser. There's the ball on to Mendy. No,
Cannot get close to him.
they're just chipping it around at will at the moment, aren't they? As Bowler has some time and space on the ball over on the left. Then back to Shaka Batati, returns the favour. Bowler looking to poke it through to KMB, but decides against it. Shaka Batati once more, keeps going, runs square across the field, yeah, given into Marmer. Challenge from Jacob doesn't dispossess him, and eventually Egan does step in, and City will get the ball. As Hirakawa tries to play it up towards McBurney. That was handball. Referee's going to allow play on. Initially, there is no advantage as Dowell was muscled off it, and he'll bring it back for a City free kick about 10 yards from halfway.
Yeah, first time we got a bit of break and think you've got a chance. The lad sticked his arm out. I don't think he meant to hit his arm obviously and stop the ball. Quickness of the play. Straight away, if we didn't get the other side of him, we were going to bring it back, which he did. We need someone to sit in there deep, and they need to get on the ball. These are the games which we talk about, don't we?
Yeah.
Passes him by where he needs to control the game, get involved in it.
You can probably count on one hand the touches he's had so far.
Yeah, him and Dowley looking in there, they're looking where the centre halves have got it, playing across the back, but they're not making the movement for it to dictate the game, to get on the ball. It's fallen to him now.
Now the Madison space to him. Hughes in an advanced position. Looks to play it through to McBurney. Tries to get in behind a Banquo, but
too much pace.
Yeah, big centre half was just able to. He read it well, didn't he? And then had the pace as well. As Watford will get the ball back in blue and white. Played up towards halfway, but Hadjimetovic with a rare touch gets in there to get the ball back. It's headed up in the air. Hughes will head it sideways. There is Hadjimetovic striding forward, a foot in and a challenge. City might get it back in midfield though, but don't. And Watford will try and come forward once more. Jacob with a challenge, takes it from Marmer. Very scrappy from City at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. I looked at the Preston game. I remember that game where it's his second ball. You need to, you can see it, and I said, like 20, 30 minutes into the game, you're looking, thinking they're picking the second balls up, and you just know who's alert. And they're more alert than us at the moment.
And their movement's far more fluid, isn't it?
Yeah.
City look a little bit disjointed right now as Ngakia just sent Hirakawa for tea there. Left him standing as he checked inside. We hit the half-hour mark here at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Watford 0. FM Digital and Freeview on BBC Radio on Beside Sport Live. Plenty of sport between now and the end of February. We've got games practically every night for a couple of weeks over the next 2 weeks. Football and rugby league across Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. There's only Mondays that are going to be busy
as a sports.
You what, sir? I know.
They're busy.
Who won that game? There's Slater, midway inside the City half. It's having a team of people around you, Swanee. Dictating, not about the one person.
Not about dictating, Michael.
No, it's not at all.
That's what you're trying to say. You don't have time.
I imagine that's how you run your business, Swanee.
No, I lead by example.
Exactly. That's what you've got to do.
You lead by example from the stage sometimes.
Don't be bitter because I was doing something for charity. Here comes City now. It's not the right ball from Dowell. Trying to thread it through. On the through pass from McBurney, who was caught, rooted to the spot.
Probably the first time we won it back in their half, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then the pass is all wrong.
Because they committed, hadn't they, as well? They only had the, 4 in their half, or certainly at that part of the field. As Watford will bring it out from the back again. It's with Mark Bowler on that left-hand side, intercepted by Coyle, but again the second ball doesn't go City's way, does it?
Yeah.
And Watford will stride forward. Bowler, does he take it out? Yes, he does. And Louis Coyle wants to get on with this quickly. Sergei Kirovic has got the hood up now. He's protecting his face from the icy chill that is drifting in around the MKM Stadium. And you can hear the City fans just trying to encourage a bit of urgency from their players as Egan gives the ball away and then Kayembe gets it on the cusp of the centre circle, laid back behind to halfway to Ngakia, slips it through in towards Mendy.
Talking about them too much, aren't we?
Way too much. Loser, back to goal, 30 yards out, then faces up. Got a man behind him in Mendy, inside to Ngakia, who's just drifted away from his right back position but allows the ball to just run to the left side to Bowler, hits the backside of Coyle. He'll field that in this cold night. Trying to turn away from Gelhardt, gets away from Gelhardt, and then pushes on towards the edge of the area. But a foot in from Hadjimetovic takes it away. But still Watford in possession. And having far too much of it for anyone's liking of the City persuasion.
Well, they're coming in and quieting the fans down straight away.
Big time. Loomser just steps away from Jacob, looking for a ball, plays it through to Kayembe. Now to Bowler. Bowler inside the area, squares the ball in, maybe a chance here if Marmer can control it. He can't. That was poor from the Watford winger. Had he managed to do so, he had some space to get a shot away. It's with Kayembe. Now inside to Bowler again. Bowler into Loser. Drags it away from his man. Foot in there from Charlie Hughes. It's going to be worked back somehow to Eva Panda, but it's a back pass, so he's going to have to send that one away. And City look really ragged at the moment, Swami.
Don't look at it all, do they? Don't look at it all. Look at the manager's walked away from a technical area. Tell a chap who's backing staff on the bench.
He won't be happy. He's always really honest when he gives his assessment of performances. I can only imagine what we're going to get from him at full time in this one as it stands. But we've seen before they have that ability to change things up and get results, and that's Gelhardt plays a square ball inside, gets fouled. He knew the challenge was coming, and that is going to be a booking for the defender Fooney.
To be fair, that just gives us a breather.
Yeah.
It just gets us off the ropes a bit, doesn't it? Needed when we open.
It was actually clever from Gelhardt because he knew the challenge was coming in, didn't he?
Yeah, and he played the ball away from him into the space there. That there was always going to be a favourite to get there, expecting the challenge to come in, lifted his feet off the ground so he didn't get injured, and then referee saw it, booking, takes the pressure off us.
Speaking of against the ropes, see that boxer whose wig came off at the weekend?
Wig?
Yeah, his wig came off. It was left with a little strip around it. Looked like my Friar Tuck wig from Panto. Free kick to City. I'll just leave you with that thought. It's going to be sent deep. It should be the keeper's ball. He's missed the punch, but Watford should be able to clear it and do with Dumbia.
He got a glance on it, didn't he? A glance was just enough really to tell him.
Yeah. Headed by Dowell. Then played away by Watford, intercepted by Slater. Hirakawa got in his way a bit. Slater with a second challenge.
Watford second balls.
Yeah. Good work there from Hadjimetovic, though. Now out to this left side to Hirakawa. You say the fans. Hirakawa with a scuff crossing, not the best from him. Goes up for a challenge. Hughes might be able to get there. That looks as though it was. It wasn't, but it looked as though Ngaki went to punch it away. And then Hughes has fouled his man and a free kick to Watford. And this first half probably can't come to an end soon enough for Sergei Kirovic.
That's correct. That was 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's not one of those where we're saying, where's the time gone, Swan?
No. So the last home game, he could carry on playing. It's like everything going to plan.
The first of a run of 5 home games for the Tigers, back here at home on Saturday. Then they've got Chelsea in the Cup a week on Friday. They play Derby and then QPR. Oh, sorry, QPR and then Derby before the trip to Portsmouth at the end of the month. So Mr. Swan will be on the slots by that point. That ball's heading back to the Egan. Vegas slots.
Oh, that's it. That sounds right, man.
Read how you want. There's Hughes to Jacob. Quick ball to Hirakawa. Sweeps it forward, not a good one from him. Groans from the fans tell you
The Cow's not been assessed.
No,
Not many of ours have, but he's a playmaker expected to make things happen for him. He's not done nothing just yet.
Yeah, Jacob into Slater. Slater's playing that quarterback role for City at the moment, isn't he? Just in front of the back four.
Yeah.
And there he is, just
I'm looking for movement. There's nothing there.
he's giving it away.
Can't beyond it.
And now there's a chance here. Can Kyle get back to recover? In fact, it's Egan who plays that one away.
Yeah, Kyle had gone beyond him. No, he couldn't find him. Gal was stood behind the Watford player, couldn't find him. It's like there's nothing else, nowhere else for him to go.
Well, go back to what I said. Sergei Kirovich has had a knack of being able to adjust and adapt.
Well, no doubt he will.
Yeah, and he'll need to at half time because this has been nothing short of abject, Swanee.
Yeah.
Really,
A good way of putting it.
yeah.
Rather than getting into trouble.
Yeah. You have to find those ways when sometimes another one would work a lot better. Panda with the free kick just outside his area. Yeah, I think so, yeah. McBurney gets on the edge of the... gets the head. Irakawa chases that one down, but he's done well as Ngaki to keep possession because the Japanese winger had put some pressure on him. Here's Shaka Batadze.
He loves to dribble with it, doesn't he?
Yeah, just takes it inside.
In straight lines, though.
I mentioned...
It was more direct.
Yeah.
They're more dangerous.
He's got a bit, I said about Jack Grealish earlier, but an older player who used to wear his socks like that, and he's not quite as tall as him. He looks like Steve Claridge-esque,
Yeah.
with his gait, the way he sort of runs, yeah.
He won't like me saying that, Steve.
I'm sure he wouldn't, I'll let you say it to him.
Not say to him, but
Or about him.
down south, so he'll be alright.
You never know. You never know, he might be hard job, Steve.
If you're that way driving.
Banquo tries to play a
Come on!
long ball through that didn't find its mark, so City get it back with Hadjimestovic. He'll play an early high ball up towards Gelhardt. Not on his chest, maybe taken from him, but manages to keep possession and finds his captain. Then Coyle inside to Hadjimestovic. Looks to steady through a gap. Nice work from him to put that forward. Cole sends this one in towards McCleary. Might drop down at the edge of the area. Can Jacob get there? It's taken from him by Marmer. Jacob gets a foot in, keeps the ball in with his left, and unfortunately he's trailing right, knocks it out for a throw. And it was a nice idea and a nice effort from Matty Jacob.
I think we're forcing it more than normal, aren't we? Probably the extra pass might just need to keep it a bit more and just try and frustrate them a bit like they're frustrating us.
Throw into Watford on this near right-hand side. And Gakia comes off the back of Regan Slater, whose body language, I mean, he'll never give up, but his body language there looked one of frustration, Swaby, didn't it? Just, yeah, nothing's quite clicking for this team at the moment. We've had nearly 40 minutes of it in a half that's really not been an enjoyable one for City fans to watch. And Deacon heads that away, Loser goes up for it, comes off him out for a throw-in. Well, I said that Watford are unbeaten in the last 4 league games, Swanee, and 5 if you include the FA Cup, but they are unbeaten in the last 4 away in the league, winning 2 and drawing 2 of them. That's lost at the beginning of December on the road. You can see why when I know it's a different Watford side, different management, etc., but they've clearly got a way of
They look good. They look half
getting themselves in games, haven't they? Yeah. Coyle has been beaten to it by Dumbia there, who keeps the ball in on that left-hand side. Inside the final 4.5 minutes of this first half, Hull City 0, Watford 0, here at the MKM Stadium. A half-time roundup. We'll also get some fans' thoughts from our transfer special last night. Some Tigers fans who joined James Hogarth to have a look at what the transfer business was like in January. A couple of members of the Holland Back podcast. Always a good listen. Before you listen to them, always make sure you visit the Hull City page of BBC Sounds. Check out all your Tigers content as Loser tries to keep that ball in from rolling out for a goal kick. Can't manage it, and with 4 minutes left to the break, it is 0-0. Peter Swan.
And it's not getting no better. And we can't even try to make it any better. We can't paint any nicer pictures on a cold, frosty night. Can we?
Well, we'll do our best, but you know,
We're not doing a good enough job. There's not much to talk about. Mainly about Watford, who look the brighter team.
for all we said, he knows how to find those ways to adapt. This is going to frustrate Sergei Yukirovich, isn't it? Because you look at this side, and we spoke about it, this is a side capable of causing problems. They've got impact on the bench as well, as Marma's kept the ball in on the right side.
They'll probably make a double substitution possibly at half time.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. As
So I don't think Dow's touched the ball.
not much. Marma's going to slip a ball into the area to Dumbia. Hughes makes a challenge. That's come off Hughes last, says the linesman on this side. Hughes is just a bit slow. Or is it Egan? It's Egan, isn't it? Sorry, Egan, you can see the dark hair now. Just came across to make that challenge. Just a bit slow getting back up. He's back up now though, and a free kick to Watford on this near right hand side.
Yeah, trying to look at the bodies there. That it's gone man for man rather than picking areas up. But Burney's the man just down centre, into the 6-yard box normally in the area where the only gets clearances on it.
Referee's just spotting a bit of argy-bargy there. Kiembe and Dowell, I think, are the two guilty parties. They're going back at it again as Loser's going to take this corner from the right side. Curled and hanging as a header coming in from the back of the 6-yard box. It was headed through the 6-yard box, then comes out to this right side to Loser. Cross back in, free header, down at the near post and wide and out for a goal kick, and that was a big chance.
Yeah, the centre half is headed the ball into his own shoulder and took the pace off it and direction. For me, he switched off there. It's like that was a great opportunity for him.
You see who it was? It was Fooney again.
Fooney.
The header for 23 minutes.
He's got to hit the target there. If he keeps his eye on the ball all the way over, it's as if he saw bodies around him, turned his head, headed the ball down onto his shoulder and wide of the post. But like I say, the first cross was dangerous. That was even better. That opportunity.
As City concede a free kick. And one of their players has just gone to ground. I think it might be Banquer, is it?
Banquer.
Yeah, went up. I think whichever City player it was, I didn't quite catch, but didn't really take off and went over the top. He's arguing the case with the referee now that should be more than just a free kick. But the referee is not forthcoming with it. City will want to get in now at half time and adjust and see what they can do differently to affect this game, because the first 45 minutes has been all Watford. They've not managed to punish City. Had a couple of opportunities. Loser with that shot just wide. Fooney with a couple of headers from corners as well. Shaka Batanti forcing a save out of Eva Panda, which he was able to do. Marma takes it off Hirakawa, and then Jacob keeps the ball in. All inside to Hadjimetovic, up towards McBurney, side header to this left side to Hirakawa, and then he drives one away to Gelhardt, who meets it on the midsection. Ball runs loose to Coyle. Coyle with a cross in towards Dowell, headed away. And Watford should be able to come clear with it. They do, with KMB and Loser linking up. Marma's made a run, cut out by Jacob, not a good ball by Loser. City get it back again. Hirakawa goes down, just gets a little clip. He holds his right shin, and it's going to be a booking for Ngakia. Not sure if Hirakawa's making a bit much of that, Swanee.
Yeah, me too. Make a bit much of it. This was a great ball, like when the ball comes to McBurney, it took the pace off the ball, but it got the direction right to allow us to get away. Instead of Cowell got himself in a decent position. But the thing is, what we've got the ability to actually just click into gear, and like we saw away at Blackburn the other day, that one bit of brilliance, but interchanging, passing and movement, we can open the defence up. We nearly saw that in that occasion there. You can't just rely on doing that in games.
No.
If it gets you through games and wins, then fine, but we need to be more, let's say, consistent, don't we? And we're not consistent at all. We've been consistently bad this first half.
Gelhardt with a free kick, dangerous one into the area, chance for the header, and it's pushed wide. Charlie Hughes met it as it bounced. The keeper pushes it wide, but in no time for the corner. because the referee brings the first half to a close, and that's just given City fans something to feel a bit more uplifted about, because aside from that, it would have been a bit flat going in at this half-time break even, but it was a lovely, wicked free kick delivered in left-footed. It bounced awkwardly, sat up for Hughes about 12 yards out. He powered his header towards goal, but the keeper was there, Selvic, to push it wide and denied a big centre-half for City. So at half-time, no breakthrough late on. It is Hull City 0, Watford 0, but a first half that City will want to forget.
Yeah, going back to their chance, Philby should have scored with an header. He should definitely have scored with Hughes there. It's a perfect ball in, it's bounced up perfect for him. And it's whether he's even got time to pick where he wants to put it, either side of the keeper. He put it to the right hand side, a decent height where the keeper gets it and a decent save. But he heads that down, he scores, because it was behind the defender, rolling towards goal. You can see the keeper where he is. He's going to do it better. As for the first half, that's probably the best part of the game, or chance for us. But I say the manager there in the second half, he's got to come out a different team. We've seen it before, don't expect a couple of changes, if not straight away after 5-10 minutes. If he's not happy, he'll make them changes. But you look at your midfielders trying to run the game, and slides it down. Dowell not even touch the ball. And a Cowell giving the ball not happen for him like he does when he comes off the bench at the moment. Gallagher, again, he's got that quality. We haven't got the ball out to him. And McBurney, he's been stranded up top, but that all comes from not being able to control the game. So we need someone in the midfield area to come and take it off the back four, come and play, get linked up. But at the moment, I think the manager will be looking to change it possibly at half time.
Swanee sums it up, will not try and flower it up anymore. At half-time here at the MKM Stadium with City having a chance, if they win this, to go 2 points away from the automatic promotion places. Bit of work to do on that. For this second half, it is Hull City 0, Watford 0.
So at half-time then, goalless here at the MKM Stadium, and the performance from City point of view reflective of the weather, all a bit dour and rather damp here at the MKM Stadium. This from Rich, who is a Hull City fan in his soul. Well, this was never going to be a gimme for obvious reasons. With Watford's management situation, it was more likely to be a banana skin, and I think, fingers crossed, Sergei gets a grip of the team at half-time with some appropriate changes and necessary rockets. I do have faith, fingers crossed, Rich. Thank you very much for that message. Let me bring you some scores from games being played tonight in the League Cup, the semi-final second leg. It's goalless between Arsenal and Chelsea, but Arsenal have a 3-2 lead on aggregate. In the Championship, Blackburn Rovers lead Sheffield Wednesday by a 0-0, and Sheffield United and Oxford is 1 apiece. In League One, Port Vale and AFC Wimbledon is goalless. That game, by the way, kicking off a wee bit early. It's already 82 minutes gone in the game. Barnsley 1, Northampton 1 is a half-time score. Doncaster leads at Burton Albion by 2-0. In League 2, Barnet and Crewe is 1 apiece at half-time, and goalless in the games between Bristol Rovers and Walsall, and Harrogate and Swindon, and Notts County lead Gillingham by 1-0. And in the National League, goalless Altrincham and Morecambe, Forest Green Rovers 1, Woking 2, and Rochdale 2, Bournemouth 0. We'll get some thoughts on Hull City's transfer window business after last month, really, with players in and out. We'll do that shortly.
Good morning, it's me, your friendly neighbourhood smile maker. Healthy smiles and breakfast. Anyone who loves where they come from will still have total respect for it.
Central Hall is special because it's coming home.
Yeah.
We can put official statements out, but I'd much rather, speak from the heart.
Why do you watch Dirty Roadside?
Because it's so satisfying to play out of bombs where they're cooking muck and green moss. The transformation on them is just unbelievable.
So I hear you're a massive fan of Larry. It was just the best experience ever.
I need to sign up for this.
You do?
Healthy smiles and breakfast.
Weekday mornings from 6.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Homicide.
To get the latest on Hull City,
Click subscribe on BBC Sounds.
Interesting, it could be a reflection of the weather and the temperature, but no sign of any Hull City players warming up at half-time. Just a couple of Watford players sort of just doing close things with the ball, not too much breaking into sweat. The three Watford players are out on the pitch right now. Scollers here at the MKN Stadium between Hull City and Watford at half-time. So time to bring you more thoughts on Hull City's transfer business in this year's January window. And North Graves and Joe Collins from the To Hull and Back podcast gave me their reaction to City's work.
It was very astute, very smart business. Getting Dowell and McNair out of their contract at Rangers and San Diego respectively was a great bit of work. I think Adrian said we worked our magic on Twitter about that. And then the loans, Kumas and Hirakawa have already shown a bit of what they've got, and I'm excited to see Collier in the next couple of weeks.
In terms of Hull City now, is this a team that you feel can now go on, and as Mike White said, sitting where you are now, and it's not just about playoffs now, it's about pushing for the automatic promotion spots. That team that Hull City have got, or that squad I should say, and do you feel, is that capable of challenging the top two places?
I can't see why not. I've been trying to sort myself out of, trying to find reasons as to why we can't challenge automatically this season, and I genuinely can't think, I'll run it out of them. I think that if you're at this stage after 29 games, you can't argue against that. It's not luck. It's not, you know, I know we had the XG thing from obviously the other show when you mentioned that we'd be bottom four in that stat, but at the end of the day we score loads of goals, we keep winning games, and we've still got loads of players to come back from injury. So I think this squad is more than capable of sustaining this kind of consistency for the rest of the season. So yeah, why not?
Joe Collins, now that Hull City have assembled this squad, which now appears to be pretty much intact and complete for the remainder of the season, do you think Sergei Kirovic has the ideal starting 11, or are we past those days now? And do you feel there is a strong starting 11, or is it now a case of looking at all of these players who will all get their chance and get their game time?
Different games need different things, I suppose, don't they? Just to go back to what you were saying to I'm in a similar boat as him. Like, I'm trying to keep my feet on the ground, and that's my whole thing on the podcast now, is to not get too excited. But with the quality of players that we've got, and the number of quality players as well, like in terms of across positions, it's a really, really good squad. And when Giles is back in the squad, hopefully we can see Matazo and Balou before the end of the season as well. If we keep consistent, while other teams around us, namely Coventry at the minute, are faltering a little bit, why can't we be up there?
And you look at the remaining players that we think will leave, could leave the Tigers. Any sense of disappointment in there for you, Ant?
The James Fairlawn one, maybe not. I mean, he's not really contributed since, obviously, I think he signed under Rosini, didn't he? And he's not really had any sort of impact since he's been here, so I think that one's not really going to be missed, and obviously, hopefully he goes on and has a decent career somewhere else. But I think the Brandon Williams ones maybe is the one that hurts the most, because he you know, we were the club that took a gamble on him in the summer. You know, they did the big video about the, you know, second chances and all that kind of thing, so it would have been nice for him to find a home here and find a bit of consistency and get back playing football again, but obviously that's not happened. So yeah, it's a shame that one's not worked out. And then, like you say, Akintola, he's struggled to make as big an impact as he maybe could have done. And if he stays, I think he'll be fine. He's not going to play as much games as some of the other players. I don't think he'll be a squad player, but if we can get some money for him, then it'll suit everybody involved, I think.
Joe, what about you? I mean, you were the one that I think gained a lot of traction on social media when you spotted Brandon Williams arriving at the club in the summer to play against Sunderland. Any sense of disappointment it hasn't worked out? Because City had to take a gamble, didn't they? There is clearly a very talented player there, but he's had his off-the-field problems, and they probably contributed to him not being able to reach a level of fitness that's required. So, any sense of disappointment in the Brandon Williams one for you?
Yeah, definitely. Just to touch on Fairlawn and Akintola and Ndala as well. Let's group him into that. All three, well, certainly Fairlawn and Ndala could have been a little bit different, but they just didn't have the game time. I think there's real talent in Joe Ndala, and it certainly won't be the last we see of him at the top of the Championship, even though he's heading down to the very basement of it. But for Brandon Williams, I said to someone at the club at the time that this was when he was on trial. What City had to weigh up was, in our predicament, with our transfer restrictions, could we get a left back who, when fit, was as good as Brandon Williams for free? And the answer to that question was no. And I still believe that, but we just haven't managed to see Brandon Williams fit at all. He's tried with the under-21s and he's had consistent minutes there earlier in the season, but still couldn't find his fitness for whatever reason that might be. So it's a shame that it hasn't worked out for him, because he was a top player before other stuff got in the way. And wherever he goes, whether that's into sort of the non-league to find some minutes or as a free agent again for a little while, I hope that he can just find fitness and get himself and his career back on track, as he tried to do here, but has unfortunately failed to do so.
And of Grace, the window started for Hull City back at the end of last year, started this, with speculation about selling Dieng. That never materialised, and the club hasn't gone and looked for another goalkeeper since. Are you surprised that they didn't pursue a goalkeeper at all? I mean, we know the restrictions, we know the salary caps and things like that, so a lot of it doesn't come down to choice, it comes down to what's financially possible. But there was obviously a reason they fancied taking a look at selling Dieng. He then didn't happen. Are you then surprised they didn't have another option? Are you not too bothered about the goalkeeping situation?
The goalkeeping situation's a weird one for me, because I think Panda is a really, really good goalkeeper. He's just with his feet. He doesn't instill any confidence, does he? He's always been a really good shot stopper, and obviously old school football fans know that's what goalkeepers are meant to do. But we know in modern football you need to have some form of competence in being able to have the ball at your feet and pass it, and unfortunately he's not very good at that. So I think the club wanted competition. I think the fans wanted competition. Dieng's a lot better in distribution wise with the ball, so I can see why we were going in for him. But I think they've just prioritised, like you say, because of the restrictions and everything, they prioritised other parts of the team that needed reinforcements. We don't necessarily need another goalkeeper. We've got Phillips, who obviously in the cup had a really, really good game. He didn't have to do much in the actual game itself, but the penalties he saved us. So in that respect, was it worth another bunch of wages on a position that we've already got two players in for? So I think they've just diverted the attention elsewhere.
Of the new signings, who excites you? I asked you that question when actually some of them haven't actually played a great deal of minutes, and Lewis Kumas obviously will grab some headlines because of what happened at the weekend, but we get to properly see Kieran Dowell, get to see Toby Collins still recovering from injury. We'll wait to see what he can do, but have you made up your mind, Ant, about the ones you're really looking forward to seeing?
Yeah, I think Hirakawa, since all the kind of appearances he's made off the bench, he's looked really, really direct. He just wants to take every man on in front of him. That's what he wants to see from his winger. Looks like he's got a good delivery. Looks a very exciting, high energy player that wants to track back in defence. So I'm really excited to watch him play. Like you say, Kumas in his brief appearance off the Blackburn bench could have had a goal and an assist. I mean, that outside foot pass through to Carl Joseph that he probably should have put away was very, very good, and straight away making Stoke and fans eat their words. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to see what they can both do.
Joe Collins, they've certainly brought players in who instantly gained some love from the fans, haven't they? You Hirakawa especially, he's got that cult status already. Lewis Kumas will certainly catch a few eyes given the way that he started for the Tigers. There's some eye-catching, and you look at the goal even on Saturday, don't you? You think actually a couple of years ago City wouldn't have done that. City wouldn't have scored as an attractive goal as that.
Well, let's remember Lewis Kumas is the worst winger in the Championship according to Birmingham and Stoke fans. So we'll just throw that in there. But he was mightily impressive, I thought, when he came off the bench. Obviously scoring after 4 minutes is superb. But his pass to Joseph, which could have made it 2-0, maybe should have made it 2-0, was also superb. And it's a perfect way to introduce yourself and endear yourself to fans with a goal like that. But just on McNair and Dowell briefly, because they haven't really been mentioned yet, I think they are two very, very smart signings because of the experience they've got. And although Kieran Dowell might have struggled at Rangers and McNair hasn't played in England for a little bit and has had some time off with the way the MLS season works, coming into a team that's used to winning and that is in the habit of winning makes a difference on players. And, you know, you can expect, I think, all of the signings to hit the ground running. Like Collier as well, in a West Brom team that was struggling, he wasn't getting games. Coming into a team that's got experienced players around him and that are used to winning games, that'll be massive for him and his confidence.
Every game live. BBC Radio Homicide Sports.
And our transfer deadline day special, if you want to hear a show that was set up for breaking news and didn't have any, is available on BBC Sounds. Just go to the BBC Radio Homicide schedule page and it's available for you from last night to listen to again. Goalless in the the League Cup semi-finals, Arsenal and Chelsea. Goals on the night, Arsenal lead by 3-0. Championship, Blackburn Rovers have a 1-0 lead over Sheffield Wednesday. Hull City, of course, and Watford is goalless, and Sheffield United won, Oxford won at half-time as the Watford players arrived. Well, City's players have been out for the last couple of minutes, so it's game on in this second half. Goalless on the night so far here at the MKM Stadium. The second half commentary of Hull City against Watford. It's my night and Swan.
The motto behind that programme, Jim, was fail to prepare, prepare to fail.
Genuinely, that's what we kept saying, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If we didn't do it, we would have looked very silly.
Our clubs failed to deliver anything to give us something significant to talk about, but City have done their business. Can they do the business in the second half? That's the big question, because they certainly didn't in that opening 45 minutes. Disjointed, abject, clunky, just not at it is probably the easiest way of putting it, Peter Swan.
Not good enough, simple as I expected. Performance in second half.
Well, we're back underway in the second half here at the MKM Stadium, where we will see if City can find a breakthrough in the game against Watford side, who've looked the more likely. A lot of passing from them, but a couple of times they've got in positions where they could have troubled City, particularly those two headers from the defender fielding off corners, and City both might break to McBurney, but Selvig just comes out to get there first. Maybe a slightly quicker player would have got there, I'm not sure though. It was only just ahead of him as Hadjimetovich goes down, holding his left ankle. Play continues on. Watford will break down this left side. Chakabitadze gets away from Gelhardt. Early cross in, might drop at the feet of Dumbier. Comes back out to Kiembe. Here's Chakabitadze, gets on the outside of Gelhardt. Too easy. Into Bowler. Bowler drags the ball back. Loser tries the shot, and Hirakawa thankfully came flying in, and the huge chants come from the City fans around the MKM Stadium. And it's thank you for getting in the way of that one, because that was a chance for Loser to hit the target, Swanee.
Watford have come out and started playing the same football as how they finished, haven't they? On the front foot, playing good movement by saying you can't find this left hand side. Great play.
Maybe a chance here though, as Hadjimetovich has sent Gowell away. He's got some support on his right side with McBurney. First time ball laid off to Gelhardt. Jacobs making a run.
He's come around with the actual 6 Watford players in and around Gelhardt there, so when he gets his head up to look for a pass, there's nobody there.
No.
He's just been surrounded.
Jacob had made a really nice run actually, but there was no way it was ever getting to him, was it? Because the ball was runs away. Gelhardt was coming, looking out towards the west stand. A City attack left to right towards the south stand in this second half. 0-0 at the break, and the Tigers have possession inside Watford's half. Here's Coyle. Now McBurney tries to play a 1-2 with the City captain, who drags his man down. That's a free kick. He's not getting away with that, are you, in front of the linesman?
No, literally, he could have touched the linesman, not shouldered through that, would have pulled it back here. That's as close as it was to him.
Heads up, Mr. Official, this is what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
So free kick to Watford, who are in royal blue, away shirt, white shorts and blue socks. City in their amber shirts with the black shorts and amber socks. And Selvig, the keeper, all in pink, about to send this ball left-footed deep in that left corner, down the touchline in front of the technical areas. That one comes off a Watford player last and out for a City throw-in. The Tigers making 3 changes from the side that won at Blackburn going into this one. Hirakawa and Dowell making their full debuts for the Tigers, and Matty Jacob in the starting side for the first time in a year. Miller, Lundstrom and Fanwa are the players to drop out. Fan was carrying a bit of a knee problem that apparently aggravated when he took a kick at Preston originally. It's just got progressively worse since then. So not risked tonight as Watford have got a man down. It's Bowler, the left back, who's just taking his time to get back to his feet. So City have got Panda in goal, Coyle, Egan, Hughes and Jacob the back four. Slater's the sitter, with Hadjimetovic and Dowell further forward. Gelhardt and Hirakawa, the two wide players. And McBurney, who's just, I don't know if he was arguing with the referee there or talking a little bit, probably. He's leading the line for City. Ryan Giles is on the bench for the Tigers again. Good to see him back from his hamstring injury. Phillips, Lundstrom, Miller, Joseph, Fanwa, Kumas, McNair and McCarthy make up the bench. Here's McBurney with a glancing header. He got himself in front of Mendy and then didn't do anything with the header, as we've had 4 minutes of the second half. City not really had much of a touch of the ball so far, as it's played a long downfield. Hughes will just shepherd that, and a bit of indecision between Panda and Hughes. Panda right at the edge of the area, wasn't sure he was going to be able to handle it. I think he was right, but launched it and it's gone out for a throw-in over on the far side. That's going to be another Watford throw. Swanee.
I'm reading there that if Panda can see everything, he's got a big shout. The ball coming over the back of him, like say, does Hughes play the ball back to him? He can't, because it's too tight and too close. So Pando's got a big shout coming, just massive clearance from it.
The only thing I'll say is, and I'll maybe come back to that, let me pick that up in a sec, because Watford have got to throw in a deep position here. It'll send it in towards Loser. Hirakawa gets a foot in, it'll run to Mama. Little back heel from Loser. Mama, cross ball in. Hughes heads that one away. Little push in the back there of Dowell. Referee doesn't give a free kick. There's Hadjimetovic. McBurney flips it on. Now Hirakawa will try and set Gelhardt away. It'll curl inwards, so that should allow Bowler to head it back, and he does to his keeper. And the only thing I would have said in defence of Panda, Hughes can't move. It's not like he can leave it, can he? Because the defender's right over his shoulder. You know, sometimes the defender will step away.
Put it to him, hasn't he?
Yeah, and then he's too close to Panda when Panda's trying to launch it. Is that
yeah, but a big call there by Panda. Hughes gets out away and he comes through and takes it.
Yeah.
Or he's expecting Hughes to up the ball away, and then if you leave that a split second, it's too late, like it really was.
Some of the challenges seem really lightweight from City, Swanee, and they're losing out on those little 50-50 balls, aren't they? As Hirakawa just cuts inside with it there. It's going to be Hadjimetovic who'll sweep it out to this right side, flicked on by Coyle to Gelhardt. Now sends it into Dowell, nice back heel to Slater. Fancies a shot, left footed, just rising over the crossbar, and it rose and got tipped over. That might have even gone under without the touch from the keeper. But Regan Slater, who scored a cracker here a couple of weeks ago against Swansea, fancied himself again. 6 minutes into the second half, they get a corner. It remains 0-0.
Yeah, it was great play, great diagonal ball, fantastic first touch by Coyle. Gelhardt picks the ball up inside, then a great bit of skill by Dowell. Sees that Slater's made a great run behind the back of him. And Slater, it's all opened up for him to pull the trigger. Great save, but the keeper got a touch on it. That's better.
It is. City got a corner there. Left-hand side. Hung up towards the back post. Hughes tries to head it back in. It comes off a head of a Watford player and out for another corner kick. It was Hirakawa with the corner on that far side. He put some mustard on that one, Swanee.
Yeah, a little whip on it, so obviously the work on that coming down to the far post. And I said, couldn't get the ball back across. Good defending, but I've got a good block on it.
Yeah, it's just given the fans a reason to find the voices all of a sudden, as this corner is going to be taken eventually, but not before the referee said, watch the pushing and shoving. Egan's in and around there. And it's just like
there's trying to stop the run of the keeper to come out.
Yeah, he's going to have a word with the referee, with McBurney, and can't quite see who the Watford player is. Yeah, I think it is. Yes, it is. As City will get to take this corner. Slater's short for Gelhardt if he wants him. Still more pushing and shoving. This was going to be sent towards the front of the 6-yard box. Egan with a back heel from the front of the 6-yard area, and it hits the side netting, and it goes out for a goal kick. Watford have got Selvig in goal, a back four of Ngakia, a Banquet, Fooney and Bowler, Mendy the sitter with Loser and KMB, as well as Chaka Batati, who's just having the the freedom of the city all along with Loser really in this game so far. Marmer on the right-hand side and Dumbia up front. Was a cheeky one from Egan, that's funny.
I don't think it's one they've worked on. You'd expect Egan to get in that position to do a bit of skill to get himself a goal, but when he got in there, he used his initiative there, like a flick between his legs, wasn't it?
It was. There's Hughes at the edge of his penalty area. Sends it forward. Watford will get it back again. The arms get flung up in the air from Sergei Yakirovich in his technical area. Who's a frustrated figure at the moment with his side. Gelhardt nearly pulling back his man. Referee allows play on, but Bernie just lets Bowler know that he's there. Now, a Banquet. Forward to Shakabatati, taken from him by Gelhardt, and now maybe City have got a chance with a 3-on-3. He's got Bernie in support, slips it to this right side of the area. Can he drive one in? Back in towards Gelhardt, but he takes a touch off a Watford man, and out for a corner. And I'm not quite sure why Fooney didn't do anything to try and stop that one, Swanee, because he could have done, couldn't he?
Maybe a bit out of his reach, but good play at the end. The last pass there from Gelhardt to Bernie, set him too wide. It gets it closer to the full-back. Not enough for him to nick it, but enough that again McBurney gets there, could have a striking goal. Set it too wide there.
City corner at 0-0. Gelhardt, this one's hung up a bit higher. Keeper trying to get in there. Drops, not being picked up on initially, and then he falls on it. Nearly ran loose. McBurney was nearby. So too was Dowell.
He's got pace to burn as well.
He has, and a banker has got away from Hirakawa. Jacob has to come across. It's going to be swung to this left side of the penalty area through the box to Shakabatati. Steps in on his right foot, tries a curling shot, and straight into the hands of Eva Pando. 0-0.
Yeah, was that Banquet going down that right way? Hirakawa in his way, quite. Yeah, a little parachute on the back of him trying to catch him, which, as you all know, parachute, if they catch you, you're in trouble.
James, yeah, indeed, yes. James Abankwa, the Irish under-21, is eligible to play for Ghana senior side should he wish to do family as well. And here comes Dumbia for Watford from range, tries a shot, hits the heels of Hughes, not cleared yet. Marmer away to Kiembe, chested down by Ngakia, foot in there by Slater, and he'll come away with it. And Slater will come forward, and he's got room to scurry into. Then slides it on the diagonal to Gelhardt. City going to try to find something here. 55 minutes got Gelhardt. Ball in towards McBurney, but he was always behind the defender. It was a Banquet who made that run earlier. And McBurney was behind it. Yeah, got back. And now Watford can take it up the other end. And Shakabatati just holds it up.
Bernie's got to do better. I don't normally say that about McBurney, but he's got to get the right side of him there. You see Gelhardt's making the run, and the only ball he can play is the ball that Gelhardt did play. But Bernie was on the wrong side, don't know who was expecting, but we're never going to get that. He had to get in the inside of him and link up with him.
Watford have possession again. We're approaching the hour mark in this game. Still goalless. Watford winning the meeting between these two sides earlier in the season. Finished 2-1 to Watford after McBurney had given the Tigers the lead in the first half, but goals from Loser and Semedo back at the end of September, giving the Hornets the victory. City haven't lost both league games in a season to Watford since the 88-89 season. It might have been a result like that, Swanee, that prompted them to go out and sign you for a then record fee soon after. Here's Watford coming forward. Loser flicks the ball on. There's KMB back into Loser. Nearly taken from him. Loser with a shot wide. Panda was on the stretch, but always comfortable with it, I think. And 57 minutes into the game, it's City now. Watford.
Yeah, and I'm looking down at the subs. I'm looking at Giles, Lundstrom, Miller. Them three players can all offer something into this game. I mean, the manager will look in and probably see things different, but they're the three players I'll be thinking, yeah, can they go on and change the game for us and get the 3 points?
Definitely, looks like there's some thoughts.
Or it'd be cool, massive coming on the other day as well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Within just a few minutes, he hadn't been on the field 4 minutes before scoring the goal. There's going to be some movement. Lundstrom is one of those, I reckon. Gelhardt tries to get past his man there, and Fooney brings him down. And he has been booked, remember? He has been booked, and I think... No, he's not. Is he going to the spray?
So look at that.
He is very lucky, because under normal circumstances, Swanee, that's a booking.
Yeah.
So why should it change anything? I'm not saying that's what the referee's thinking. He's maybe just thought it's not a bookable offence, but that's a booking for them.
It is.
And it shouldn't change if it is in the ref's mind. Oh, well, it would mean a sending off. Well, he's got away with it, and like you said, you've used the word lucky. Perfect way. Now Fooney is he's adjusting his boot. Yeah. Some of the fans think there's a bit of time wasting going on, and if they might consider changing him.
Well, wants to change his boots. It's Caracol.
And he's dropped himself down right where Hadjimetovic wants to take his free kick at the moment. He's made sure that he's been as open as possible with it. I think City fans aren't buying it.
I think it's where he laid. I don't think he's made a conscious effort to sit there. I think that's where he was. It's Michael.
He did. Okay.
I don't think he moved into that position.
I thought he did, but I'll tell to your judgment on this. City free kick. 30 yards out, swung in by Hadjimetovic. Drop missed by the keeper, and it doesn't fall. Again, we talk about the second balls. And City, it wasn't going their way first half, really, was it? Their keeper stayed down, and the referee is going to stop the play.
I think the keepers, when they come out and do that, and they've got to go, it's more of an embarrassment than that he missed the ball.
Missed it, yeah.
I hope it's more of an embarrassment and he's not injured, but that's not the case.
I know what you mean, though. You often see that, don't you? With things like that. We'll have the Keepers Union onto us now. They'll be messaging.
Keepers crazy. Right, double substitution, maybe a triple, I said.
Yeah, certainly two.
Kumas and
Lundstrom. See who for in a second. Little arm round the back of Kumas from John Lundstrom. It's going to be Hadjimetovic who comes on.
Not done nothing.
No.
These are games he should be running. And he's not got that turned up.
John Lundstrom back on. Started the game on Saturday. Again, they'll just be cautious with him, given that he's had 2 injury problems back to back. And the other change is going to see Lewis Kumas on to make his home debut.
Again, another player that's not contributing nothing to the game.
It's Kieran Dowell. A big cheer for Lewis Kumas, who's already made his mark in the Tigers shirt with that first goal. Just a few minutes on the pitch to give them the win at Blackburn on Saturday. Liverpool youngster, Welsh international as well. He's played 9 times for his country. 20 years of age. He was on loan at Stoke last season where he played 49 games in all competitions, scored 6. His first half of this season was at Birmingham. 1 goal in 25 appearances. Didn't really work for him. He said he's feels like he needs this loan spell and needed that goal the way it came on Saturday, just to give him a bit of a lift, and did what he needed to do for the team as well. See what he can offer and bring this evening in a freezing cold night, or on a freezing cold night in a rather disappointing performance from the Tigers so far.
Tells me, like I say, seen little glimpses this second half. The substitutions normally do bring us something different. That's what it does tonight.
Yeah, see if we can give them a bit of a spark. He's
great feet, lad.
Yeah, lovely feet there. Just a step inside away. It was Marmot who got away from a couple, but City clean up as Jacob plays it back to Panda. Sent that ball long away. The remaining City bench, by the way, they've got Phillips, Giles, Miller, Joseph, Fanworth, McNair and McCarthy. As Watford are going to make a couple of changes. I'll tell you about their remaining bench once they've done that as well. Is Loser. Loser's going to kill a dangerous ball in. Should be Pandas and Is. They're going to bring on Patrice and Kevin shortly. The City fans wanted Eva Panda to get going quickly with that, and then it has been sent long downfield for Hirakawa to get after. He keeps the ball in, about 6 yards in on this right side. Curls across it towards the front of the 6-yard box, and that one's sliced up and away and out for a corner. No one was attacking the front post there, Swanee, was there?
No, I don't think it was the best ball, to be fair. It was a great ball by Lundstrom to open them up. can get us from defending to attacking in, like say, one pass from 40-50 yard diagonal, gets him away, but it's got to do better with a cross, not being the first man, aren't they?
Yeah. With the changes, Kumas and Hirakawa are wide. Hirakawa's come to this right side. Gelhardt's gone in behind McBurney. And Gelhardt will take this corner. Curls it into a dangerous spot. Punched up by the keeper. Doesn't drop out of the area. Might fall to Hughes. Got a couple of people around him. There's Hirakawa trying to get it out and into a bit of open space. City still haven't got it back. Hirakawa goes in. Ball being scrambled around. Might run to McBurney. And then cleared away.
Well played, referee.
Yeah, let that one go.
A little niggles in there, a little flick of the ankles, and let it play on.
You sometimes see them get pulled up, don't you? But you let it go, and here come Watford at the other end, and Jacobs been beaten down this left-hand side, the Watford left-hand side, led through the area. A run for Dumbia, now Loser. Loser sends the cross in, defended by Jacob, comes out. Maybe a chance for Mendy to get the shot in. Ricochets away to his left-hand side to Shaka Batanzi. Problems here for City. Might drop down. Loser with a chance and blocked and threw himself in the way, did Charlie Hughes. Threw his body right in front of that, and he had to, because Loser, from the angle of the 6-yard box, was ready to hit the target, Swanee.
Yeah, we've actually done so many times, and we can only do it so many times before they get the break, don't you? Like I say, the blocks we put in. And credit to the lads for seeing up against it again. You can't say an half-decent team was playing free with the football, but that's an opportunity there where 2 or 3 times, let's say they just opened us up down this left-hand side, down the right. They should find the ball there. Like Mamba there, where he goes, he'll grip the ball in, get it outside of his foot. I say, take a bit off that. It's a great ball. It should have been.
Yeah, it should have been. There's a stoppage at the moment because they've had Mendy stay down. He just gets up, hobbling a little bit, and waiting to make their 2 changes. I'm just wondering if they're, unless he's one of those that's coming off anyway. As the first change is going to see, well, there is Fury coming off Swanee. To be replaced by Kevin. And the other change is going to see Jeremy Patrice come on. And the player to make way is Jeremy Ngakia. As we're approaching the midway point of this second half. So the 2 players that have come on then, Kevin Keben's a 22-year-old centre-back, Cameroon under-23 international, started his career at Toulouse in France. And the other change is Jeremy Patrice, who's 28 years of age, signed from Charleroi in Belgium in 2024. And Watford have a throw-in. Goalless here.
There's a rain comes down, it looks like.
Looks like it's a little
bit of fans having a sing-song for warm-up, possibly.
Bit of a drizzle in the air. This is that, not frost. Ball sent into the edge of the City area, headed away by Egan. It's played downfield. McBurney's going to try and close it down, but it's already played back by Kevin. Comes back out to the Cameroonian. Visits that right side, not a good ball. And out for a City throw-in. It was cheap from Watford. Far from a classic Swanee, this game.
Is it? We've got to find it. The manager's got to find a way of winning it.
Yeah, he has. As City with more defending to do here. Jacobs being beaten. Watford trying to get forward, charging into the area. Ball's going to be dragged back. There's Loser, and he's pushed it wide from, 8 yards out. No wonder Egan's fuming. He's having a go at his teammates. He's having a word with Lewis Kumas for letting his man get away as well. And Loser, how he's not hit the target from 8 yards out, and at least give him time to something to do, I'll never know. But from City's point of view, still breathe a sigh of relief, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, I thought myself, it was just waiting for the net to ripple out here. Because they've opened us up down that, their right hand side again, our left hand side. And I said, the movement there, it's great movement. It's just a final pass this time is the final shot. So they'd open up, set everything perfect. And I can't see why I was missed it either side. No. Put either side of the ball there.
He had his...
So if that's not another wake-up call, how many more we're going to have?
That's got to be, hasn't it? Now, it's got to be. But It remains 0-0, thankfully. Kumas is going to try and chase this one down, and he's just going to have a little tug of the shirt there as well on Patrice.
Kumas has got pace, we've seen that.
Yeah?
He got the other side of him, but on the way of doing that, and that little pull on his shoulder, which, if the referee sees it, he's going to blow him straight away, and that's what he did.
Well, he made it too easy for him, didn't he? That was the thing. And he gives Watford the free kick, whose remaining bench, by the way, is Baxter, the sub-keeper, ex-City, as is Tommins, Yaremgar, Semedo, Mendy, Barr and Greaves. And we've got a quarter of the game left for City to find a winner and go 2 points within, 2 points at the top 2 places in the Championship. It's been dreamland for City so far as this season goes.
The thing is, where we play, you can see us just doing like we did at away the other week. Just that one bit of movement to set yourself and gets you to go. It can happen at any part of the game,
yeah.
but
makes sense.
If you're consistently doing it, you're going to get more opportunities to win games.
Yeah, exactly.
Today, Watford have put up a good effort today. They've got themselves, like I said, they deserve to be 1-0 up.
They have a throw into Watford in blue on this left-hand side. Bowler just throws it over the head of Hirakawa and finds Shaka Batadze. Back to the Georgian again. Put in there from Lundstrom. Takes it away. Egan has to react. Gets a challenge in, which is taken quickly by Shaka Batadze. Held up by Dumbia. Sends it back behind. Should be a chance for Kumas to get in there, and he does. Got McBurney in support. Plays it to him. Plays it down the line for Kumas, who's trying to look for a free kick. Referee wasn't having it.
No, me neither.
I'm not. No, fans are claiming it. There was nothing in that, was there?
Decent ball. They're looking to use the pace of Kumas. The 2 players. That's the in between him and the ball there. And I think he run behind the back of him, hoping to get a free kick rather than getting brought down or checked.
Yeah. McBurney calling on Hirakawa to join the press here and try and put some pressure on the keeper as he launches that one away, headed by Egan. Slater gets there. Jacob tries to play it forward, and then Kumas goes down. No foul again. This time I think he maybe did have a bit of a case, but play continues, and Patrice sends it out to the right side. Cross is going to come into the area. Coyle just has to get a touch on it to push that one away. Booze on the referee. I think there was more of an argument there, Swanee. I'm not sure.
Not having it now. I think he's looking for it. The referee's spot on.
I mean, again, we can go old school and say absolutely not the way the game used to be played. I was just calling it more on how you see him get on these days. Yeah. You're not fit to referee, say the fans.
Line's not fit to do his job either, so they're pairing them.
Calling from the left side, Shaka Batadze whips it in. He's headed away by McBurney. Hirakawa will try and get there. Beats his man somehow, and then Kumas can strike forward. Hirakawa's gone down. So Kumas has to go by himself for the time being. Kind of lost his footing a bit. Lundstrom in with a strong challenge. Kumas just can't keep it in. And it goes out for a throw-in.
I started panicking when I saw Lundstrom go in there. Great challenge, but the lad saw it coming and pulled out of it.
Ball played down the right channel for Dumbia to go after. Hughes gets in with a challenge. The ball...
He's getting booked for kicking the ball away.
Yeah. It'll be Dumbia that's booked. Frustration from him. And you're listening to BBC Radio Homicide on this Tuesday night, Homicide Sport Live, where we've got about 18 minutes left. And it's 0-0 between the Tigers and Watford. Give us some hope, Swanee. What can you give us to cling on to?
I think we need to probably bring Miller on for the Carroll for me. He's more direct, he'll give the fans a lift.
Yeah, just maybe something. Having
probably the pace and energy of Jones if possible on top instead of Gallard.
Yeah, it's looks like it's going to be Watford that might make the first change though. It's going to be Quadwell Bar. Ball played back to the keeper, Selvig, the Norwegian, sends it downfield. Coyle heads it back up down this right side. City attacking left to right towards the south stand, who are trying to encourage their side in towards that goal. Coyle manages to keep it in and gives the ball away. Played that blind kindly. There needs to be careful not to clip his ankle. He does. The referee spotted it.
Yellow card.
And Louis Coyle goes into the book. His 5th of the season.
How was that a yellow card? And the one earlier where the lad's already been boxed now.
That doesn't make any sense, yeah. We were quite happy with the way he was officiating it in that first half, Swanee. He was letting a lot go, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'll not repeat word for word what the fans are saying about the official.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a couple of City changes and a couple of Watford ones, so we'll keep an eye on this. Swanee, I'll get you to help me out.
I think I'll be straightforward to be fair.
Yeah.
I think with Jacob and Eric Howard coming off for us, as I said.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that one. It's 2 changes apiece on the way shortly. Once the board goes up, both officials got a bit of work to do here. They'll do the City ones first by the look of it. So Liam Miller and Ryan Giles. Miller will replace Matty Jacob. He's going to replace. Although it will be Giles that will go into the left back slot, obviously. A bit of a tough night, Matty Jacob, hasn't he? He was involved with some challenges early on. And Giles comes on to replace Gelhardt, so...
I'm going to say Gelhardt's been quiet as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. So Hirakawa, I think, is going to drop in more centrally, isn't he? Kumas has come to this right side, Miller out on the left, and here come a couple of changes now for Watford. With just over 15 minutes left. It's going to be Luca Kierengard. He's on for Dumbia, who just got booked a few minutes ago.
Is he glad to score? Number 9?
Yeah, tell me about him in just a second. And the other change is going to be Pablo Bar. And he will replace Chaka Batadze, who's put a shift in for them, Swanee.
Yeah, he's been good. Right, very bright.
So the 2 changes that we've seen then is Kierengard's a 22-year-old Danish, former under-20, under-21. He's on loan from, I mentioned earlier about the sister club Udinese, owned by the Watford owner's dad. And he's on loan from them. He's scored 8 league goals this season. He's not got any in 7 though. Hopefully that run continues tonight. And the other change was Pablo Bar, who's an English under-18, German under-19. A City trying to break here with Miller. Can he put enough pressure on Patrice there? Needs to do it without manhandling him. There's a first touch for Giles. Ball runs to McBurney. McBurney to Giles. Back to McBurney again. That successful partnership linking up. Hopefully it can be fruitful tonight in the remaining 14 minutes of the game. Bar, who's come on, to Crystal Palace youngster, by the way. Here's Coyle, right-hand side. Curls across him, in towards McBurney, gets the header on it, should be comfortable for the keeper. Not sure if that maybe was coming in more to Miller. I think he had a body around him, didn't he? But was it a better opportunity for Miller, perhaps?
Yeah, but if I'm there, if I'm McBurney, I'm trying to get some on that.
Yeah.
Unless you get a big shot from behind you, which I said, I think there was a play in between Miller and McBurney there, to the big favourite to win it.
Ball down this City right-hand side. Kumas not near it, goes out for a throw-in. City have won 8 of the 14 home league games this season, won 5 in total last season, 8 the year before that, 9 the season before that. So they're already in fine fettle at home, but it's not quite been, well, it's not been at it tonight. A goal though, and everyone will forget what they've seen and accept the 3 points on it.
Yeah, sure.
13 minutes left of normal time. Here's Hughes into lunchroom. City fans just trying to cheat their team up a little bit more. You can hear the calls, and then Louis Coyle not able to bring that one under control. Goes out for a throw-in. Looks the crossfield ball came towards him. He kind of overrun it and then tried to step back into it, didn't he? But didn't pay off.
Again, the possessions, that's 40% with that.
Yeah.
I know we don't really need possession in recent games to win games, have we? But
no.
at home, you'd expect a bit more possession than 40%.
Yeah. Here's McBurney. Now Kumas thinking about an early ball. Can he pick out Miller? He can, and Miller's put it over, but the flag's up anyway. He just straight offside. It was a tantalising low curling ball in from Kumas, but Miller had just strayed about a yard offside as he came into him. Couldn't hit the target anyway. Had he done so, that would have been a frustrating one, but the flag went up. Offside against Miller. But that was a nice ball in, Swan.
Well, we've seen some substitutions, haven't we? Something different already. Like I say, a bit brighter. Like I say, a couple of balls in the box. Like I say, one there, which Miller timed his over on, one before it, but Burnley puts it over. In the last 5 minutes, probably not seen them crosses in the box all game in 78 minutes with that.
Ball played away by Selvik. Hirakawa tries to get in there. Miller just away from it. Lundstrom slides in, but his challenge just takes it into the path of a Watford player. Needs to be brought down, but a striding run, and then eventually...
Did you tell you actually said? Did you tell you actually said it needs to be brought down?
Well,
that's what it did. I know what you were saying. It needs to get closer to the child. I don't think he meant brought down.
I didn't mean brought down.
I'm thinking in my head, someone needs to bring it down because it's on that momentum.
Yes.
And it gets past the next defender. It's a shot on goal, and it's still done.
Yeah.
So you were right what you did mean to say.
Yeah, I was thinking what as a commentator you wouldn't normally say, and said it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that's all I did. But yeah,
you were right.
Yeah, the momentum needed stopping, didn't it? That's what I was going for. And a free kick to Watford. That was a striding run, cutting in from that right-hand side.
I think it probably wrote 2 or 3 challenges to get there.
Yeah, it did.
I know this is a dangerous area, probably 8-9 yards outside the box, straight down the middle, go either way the keeper.
Yeah, it's practically central, maybe slightly off to the right. It's Marma with the right foot, loses there as well. Kembe's more there for encouragement, and then he just peels away from the ball. And like I said, either one of them might fancy this, and a good connection, and either Panda's got something to do, and it's going to be Loser. Wall does its job, comes back out to Loser again. City will get a foot on it with Kumas, comes swinging back into the City area. Lundstrom's header drops to the feet of Loser. Runs away to Kembe, strong challenging from John Lundstrom. And City are going to make another change shortly, but not before the ball's gone out of play here. And the City fans trying to encourage their side again. Can they find one last surge? To be fair, it'd be one first surge in this game, wouldn't it? They've not really had anything like that so far. In the final 9.5 minutes plus added on time, the ball's back with Panda as he strikes it downfield. Away to this right side. Carl Jones is going to be the player to come on. McBurney, who looks as though he's run his race, doesn't he?
He has worked out at the top for nothing really.
Yeah, trying to pick up scraps. I don't know it's definitely him at the moment. That would be the safe assumption when you look at all the other changes, unless Hirakawa might be, yeah, that's it, if he feels like he can get the best in the final few minutes. Giles, ball might run to McBurney. It's...
What I would say, we're looking at a stronger team now than we started.
Yeah. Just need to find a bit more quality on that final ball, don't you? Here's Miller, steps inside, 12 yards out, left-hand side Giles, turns across in, played away by Watford. Lundstrom can't get it out from under his feet, has a little pull, and gets penalised and booked.
Again, at the right place, right time.
Yeah.
He had to do it.
We're going to see, it is going to be Hirakawa. So, yeah, I mean, McBurney always looks leggy anyway, doesn't he? But I just thought he looked a little bit extra so, but it is Hirakawa that comes off. Joseph on for Hirakawa with 8 minutes left. And maybe a chance, what's he going to do? Just drop him in and sit him in the hole there, Swanee? Looks like it, doesn't he? And behind McBurney and get up and support when he can. Giles heads that one away. Yeah. Oh, Miller can't bring that under control, and that allows Mendy to get that one. It's with Barr. Yeah, over on that right side, squares the ball into the City box. Hughes plays it away. Miller, first time touch into Lundstrom. Miller's been bundled to the ground. Free kick to City. City fans cheer the referee ironically for that one. Don't forget, after the game, you can have your say with James through until 10 o'clock, and every weeknight, Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 is Humberside Sport, and we get across all the stories of the day, talk to some of our community sports teams as well at times, and find out what's going on around East Yorkshire and Northern Lincolnshire tomorrow night with Leo Jocelyn in the Humberside Sport studio. Ball sent back by Giles to Pandu, who was about 10 yards outside his penalty area. 7 minutes left. Hughes looking for an option. It's static at the moment. He'll be getting urged to move it in a second, and there he is. Watford had 4 players in and around Regan Slater, who was the initial option for an outlet. Couldn't utilise him, so it's played out to this right side to Coyle. Now Egan forward to Joseph. Not a great pass from him. Egan will step in to win that one back. Joseph flicks a header on intended for Kumas. Watford might get it there with Jeremgaard, and then the Danish striker picks it up again. He's a big unit, is Jeremgaard. Now Kiembe to this left side to Marmo, who's changed his wings with Bar over on that side. Good work from Kumas to nick it, and he was going to try and play a through ball for McBurney to run onto. He wouldn't fancy running 50-20 yards after it, would he?
He'll give him a little side eye there, thinking, what are you doing, lad?
Yeah.
You've got the pace to get there. I'm not going to get that on my bike.
No. Miller wanted a long ball forward there. I'm not sure it was on really for Louis Coyle. As Panda plays a bit of a short ball there to Hughes. I'm sure the centre-half will appreciate that. They're going to have to get this one away. They do.
More luck than judgment.
It was, wasn't it? He's found Slater. Now Coyle. Coyle has got acres of space to run into, and he'll do so. 20 yards inside the Watford half. Now with Kumas near the angle of the area. Lays it for Coyle. Not a good ball from Kumas. And put out for a throw, and that's a couple of bad touches.
Coyle made a great run and took an defender with him. That then allows Kumas to attack the space in between him and the fullback. He tried looking for Coyle. He probably got the wrong option there.
Well, Lundstrom didn't do well with that ball coming into him, but I'm not sure why the official's given that as a Watford throw. And I think that came off Marmer last, but he's given it to the visitors. And they get a throw in deep in that left corner. Taken short in towards Marmer, and then the ball back, and maybe that's a bit of justice done to him. But he's given the throwing away after all that anyway. 5 minutes left, and a game that right now doesn't show any signs of producing a goal, does it?
Not yet.
Good. Kumas tries to win a free kick. He's not going to get that, certainly not with this referee.
No chance. Not a free kick, is it?
No, it's not. Not at all. Egan helps it on its way though to Lundstrom. Kumas sort of half-heartedly went after it, then he did manage to lunge in front of the attempted ball down the line. Watford will play that one away out for a City throw-in. Maybe if it just gets a bit scrappy in these last couple of minutes by Watford.
We're going to need that one ball at the right place.
Lundstrom swings one in towards McBurney, headed away by a Banquet. Kumas tries to take on his man. That one's going to go out and off a City player last. 20,441. That's the attendance tonight. Certainly missing a lot of the travelling Watford contingent that had made the trip for the original game. Kumas, that's another poor ball from him. Made his mark on Saturday, but quite clicked through so far since coming on in this game. A lunging challenge there for McBurney. That's going to be a booking for Ollie McBurney as well.
Again, yeah, they show some right pace, some of them players, especially down that right hand side. Open play up there, they've got to put the ball in front of them and they've got to tackle space, and like I said, McBurney, the last 6 tackle there, he tries to get the nick on him. He was trying to explain to the lad what he did, and yeah, definitely booking.
It's 5th league booking for Lundstrom and for McBurney. And they've each got one in respective cup competitions. Lundstrom in the League Cup, McBurney in the FA Cup. The FA Cup is with us a week on Friday as Chelsea and former boss Liam Rossigna are the visitors to the MKM Stadium. The 3rd of 5 straight home games. As the Banquet sweeps one downfield. Giles heads it away. Lundstrom tries to get in there, loses out to it. Watford will get the loose ball. And it's with Barr. Barr plays it in. Big Kiembe gets away from a couple of men, tries a shot and slams it wide. Handel looked as though he had it watched all the way, but from the edge of the area, Kiembe given a bit too much room to run, Swanee.
Yeah, and it was just like a matter of time before he pulled the trigger on it. Which the players are going to try and get past, running across the 18-yard box, shepherding him away from goal, but not tight enough to get the block on it, which had been blocking and throwing his body in front of them all night. That won't really allow to get a shot away.
Ball is sent away by Panda. Is there some late drama in the game? Joseph helps it onto this right side to Kumas. Wants an early ball in, does McBurney. Kumas steps inside on his left foot. Tries to drive it into the box, not a good ball. Frustrated body language from Ollie McBurney. Ball out for a City throw, which is taken quickly by Coyle. Can they find something? 2 minutes left of normal time. Back out to Coyle from Slater. Coyle sends the cross in. Doesn't beat the man in front of the two City attackers. And it goes out for a throw-in to Watford.
Yeah, it's not been good enough, has it, tonight?
No.
Then you think there's a point decent? It would be tonight, performance, like I said, because. But it will be in opportunities. You'd say Watford will be better opportunities, and if anybody deserves to win it, you'd say Watford. But as we go again,
but it's going to feel like an opportunity missed, isn't it? Here's Kumas, maybe a chance. Kumas with a cross in, headed away. Like fall to Slater, who needs to get out the way of the referee. Needs some support at the moment. Got it with McBurney into the area, tries to turn away from his man, and then loses out, and it's taken from him. And Watford have it back.
If the referee wanted to be close to Slater, Slater who had a shot there with his left foot.
He had a chance, didn't he?
Yeah.
The City gone all the way back to Pando when Miller was in acres of space down this right-hand side crying out for it, and the fans were trying to encourage him to do so as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many bodies in between him there. He had the space, you could see it, everybody up here could see it, but there's an pass to find.
Yeah. And Watford have it again with Mendy, now loser, who's got a lot of space in front of him. He's midway inside the City half, got some support to his right with Barr. Maybe a first time ball in, drives it into the box, Coyle meets it and plays it away, out to Joseph. Joseph turns away to that left hand side and comes forward, and the City fans try and encourage him to do so. Final few seconds of the 90. Joseph away to Miller on that left hand side, cuts it. Kumas is making a run, comes in towards McBurney. McBurney knocks the header down, no one in front of him. And it's easy for the keeper to collect.
Yeah, McBurney, Kumas and Robert both made the same run.
Yeah.
Don't need him to peel off there into the centre. Like they did down, he knocked it down into the space where a run should have been.
6 minutes of added on time as Slater loses out to Loser. Now it's with Marmer, just outside the City area. Marmer into the box, surely not late. Heartache for the Tigers now. They will at least want to take a point from this if they can't somehow find a way to get through. It's not been that kind of night for the Tigers though. Here's Loser edge of the box, tries to dink one towards goal and hits the roof of the net, and it remains 0-0.
He's kept going on for 90 minutes to Loser. He has been involved in their play. That's what you want to see as a midfield player.
Yeah. It's going to be a 9-point gap between the Tigers and 7th place Derby if it stays like this. 3 points it will put between them and Ipswich, who don't play tonight. They were supposed to, but the game against Portsmouth, or at Portsmouth, was called off. Here come Watford again, some space opens up. Kayembe hits it to Barr, near the right angle of the area, looking to take on Giles, pushes to the goal line, tries a shot, blocked by Giles and deflected away for a Watford corner kick.
But that is both teams ball in the game, don't they?
Yeah.
Struggling to find a way of doing it, both of them.
An opportunity for Watford here with the corner. Ince is waiting to come on as a late substitution. We'll try and get reaction from Sergei Kirovic before 10 o'clock. Here's the corner for Watford over on that right hand side, just in front of their fans. Movement in and around the 6-yard box. And this is going to be sent in by Loser, curled in towards the City penalty area. McBurney's there with the header. The Tigers trying to get out quickly. Hughes needs to be careful not to give away a free kick and take away valuable seconds here. Marmer crosses a ball into the City area. Lundstrom can come away with it. Gives it to McBurney, not a good touch. Kumas is there. Then Watford get it back again. Midway inside the City half. And then a final touch by a Banquet, puts it out for a City throw-in, and the fans trying to encourage them to get on with it quickly. There's 3.5 minutes left of the added on time. still haven't made that change, have they? They were waiting to get Ince on a second ago and then given away by the Tigers, and Watford get it back again. Into Loser. Loser plays it into Yerongard. Thankfully he couldn't control it, because maybe he had an opportunity there, and he takes it out to this near left touchline. Still 0-0. 3 minutes left of the 6 added on. Mendy, now Loser. City just chasing the tails a little bit at the moment, trying to get this ball back. It's out to that right-hand side. Barr takes on Giles, cross ball in, comes off the head of Hughes, and Coyle just thumps it away. Maybe had time to bring that one under control, Swanee there.
Yeah, I think he saw there was in the penalty area there. Probably not aware if anybody was behind him. If he had been, he probably would have had a touch.
Yeah.
Not the best clearance by Hughes in the first place, and Kyle made it worse, but got the ball out of play.
City get a throw in. 2.5 minutes left. Fans maybe still feeling like they've got an opportunity. Now they are going to make a change, Watford. They're going to bring Ince on and they'll get a few boos. A player who never really endeared himself to the Tigers fans in his 1 season and 13 appearances at the club. Played over 540 games in his career, from a Liverpool youngster. And he's on to replace Marmer in the closing stages. And there's the boos. 2 minutes left. City throw, Coyle down this right-hand side, headed up in the air. Loser gets on the end of it, turns away from Lundstrom, got some support. Cross is going to come in from Bowler. Giles heads it up and away. Miller's there, volleys it downfield. Will be allowed to bounce, so McBurney will try and get there. Again, he's headed away though by Kevin. And Giles gets on the end of it. Miller goes down, gets a free kick. Good job he did, because he'd done that thing where you drop on it and handle it. And City, with just over a minute, have got a free kick midway inside their own half. It's been left for Panda. Someone needs to get on with it. A distinct lack of urgency there, Swanee.
Yes,
with a minute left.
Panda even more so, taking his time.
City have sent everyone into Watford's half for this. Hughes is up along the front line, along with McBurney and Joseph. Panda will send it high up. It'll drop about 25 yards out, headed away by Watford. Lundstrom leaves it for Giles. Giles gives it to Yerongard, and then Kiembe gets it, and Watford have it back. They're back to the keeper. He's going to have to play this away first time. He sends it up beyond halfway. Knocks down, but it runs to Slater. Kumas had made a run if he'd have tried to thread it through. Looks to sweep it away to that left side to Miller, but Ince gets it, turns it back inside. Joseph is close to it, and then he's put out for a throw in, and we've got about 15 seconds. And unless City have got some kind of miracle here, you feel that a point is going to be all they're going to get from it. Some City fans are making the way out. Ball out to this right side to Coyle. Steps in away from his man. Sends across. Deep towards the back. Headed away and out for a corner. Will there be time for this corner? The referee just has a look at the watch. One final throw of the dice for the Tigers. This is it all in all. We've had the 6 minutes. It's this or a point. If they can find a win here, City will go 2 points within the top 2. A point, based on the performance, wouldn't be a bad thing. Now City have changed the taker. It's going to be Slater instead. He's going to kill this one in. It was initially Ryan Giles that was going to take it as the left footer. But in that southeast corner, Regan Slater goes across, needs a good delivery and a head on it. Curled in towards the back, in towards Hughes, heads it down, and nearly a touch off the Watford man, took it away from the keeper. It doesn't, the keeper collects, the referee brings it to a close, and a couple of boos, polite applause from the City fans, and it will be a point and no more for the Tigers. They miss out on the chance to move just within 2 points of the top 2 in the Championship. The gap is only 4 points. They put 3 points between them and Ipswich, who will have that game in hand, having not played tonight. And it's a 9-point gap to 7th place Derby. But a lacklustre performance from the Tigers on a night where much more was expected. Deadline day closed yesterday. They've got the players in. We know this squad is capable of it. They continue the unbeaten run in all competitions to 6, but having won the last 4, the hope tonight against the Watford side in disappointing form was that could be made 5. They've missed out on the opportunity to do so, and realistically, they've not given themselves much chance tonight in the game to even look like coming away with 3 points in it. Watford the better side at times in terms of possession. Overall, the game wasn't a classic, and fans will go away tonight probably feeling a little bit deflated, a little bit flat about what they've seen. But at least it hasn't ended in defeat. That'll be the positive to take from it. It's finished Hull City 0, Watford 0.
Yeah, it's been one of them games that is before the game you'd expect to go and get 3 points for the run we're on. And let's not forget we've had some fantastic results away from home. Took full 3 points, where sometimes you're thinking, yeah, an evenly balanced game. If anybody were going to win tonight, you'd expect Watford to win the game on what we've just seen. They've created a better chance, they've looked a better team, but end of the day, it's a great point for us, and that's what we've got to look at. I said too many players have been off the game tonight, but the main thing is, and the manager will be happy with that clean sheet, that yeah, we haven't created nothing in front of the goal tonight, we haven't been at it, but we've kept everything shut up at the back, not conceded, and let's say you look at the season as it's going now, this game's ticking by. It's how many points clear? 9 points, that's it, 4th place we're in. We're still in a great position. We expected hiccups on the way. We can class it as an hiccup because I think people expected, myself included, to try and get the 3 points, but not realising they were playing the freedom today, Watford, and looked an half-decent team. They looked under no pressure with their manager going. Let's say they created some great chances, and I say open, good chances which they should have took, but they didn't. So, in the end of it, I think a point, we're going to take that, and the manager will be happy, clean sheet, a point, and let's move on.
More thoughts from Swanee to come. Give us your thoughts as well. Talk to James on the programme 08000 665 Humberside Sport Live from BBC Radio Humberside. We're at the MKM Stadium tonight. It's finished Hull City 0, Watford 0.
So a sense of frustration, I think, amongst City fans this evening. Share your opinions. We've got 30 minutes of Humberside Sport Live remaining. If we can bring you the post-match reaction from Sergei Kirovich live, we will of course do that. It will be available on BBC Sounds. You can text and get in touch with us if you've been or listened to Hull City's goalless draw with Watford tonight. Then do get involved with the programme. You can text 81333, start the message with the letters RH. You can WhatsApp 08000 321 333. City stay 3rd in the Championship table, 3 points ahead of Ipswich Town, who didn't play tonight. Their game at Portsmouth was postponed. So, in the semi-finals of the League Cup, it's still goalless, 90 minutes gone between Arsenal and Chelsea, but if it remains that way, Arsenal will go through against Liam Rossini's side, courtesy of a 3-2 aggregate advantage. In the Championship, Blackburn Rovers 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, and Sheffield United 3, Oxford United 1. In League 1, Port Vale 0, AFC Wimbledon 1, Barnsley 2, Northampton Town 2, Burton Albion 1, Doncaster Rovers 2. In League 2, Barnet 1, Crewe 1, Bristol Rovers 2, Walsall 0, Harrogate Town 0, Swindon Town 1, and Notts County 1, Gillingham 0. In the National League, it's finished 1-0 between Altrincham and Morecambe, Forest Green Rovers 4, Woking 2, and Rochdale 4, Boreham Wood 1. So let's hear from you tonight. So what are some messages coming in? This from Shady. It says, we've been poor for weeks and been getting away with it. That was as bad as it's been all season. We're missing Matt Crooks. Let's dissect some of that. First of all, have they been poor over the last few weeks? Do you feel getting away with it?
Not been as good as we have been. Like I say, what we do, we see glimpses of brilliance at times. And I think the expectation of the fans is to see that all the time, and that's consistency. If you can get that, you'll be top of the league, and every team wants to play like that week in, week out. But when you can't, you've got to make the best of it and win games different ways. So, yeah, it wasn't the best performance by a long way. I say for me, a lot of the players were off the game today, which you'd expect. We've got match winners in there, like say Erikawa, Gellart, McBurney. not really had much of a sniff today to create anything. So the manager have to go back and have a look. They're probably surprised how well Watford played, because they probably expected them to sit back and try and get us on the counter-attack, and they didn't. They started, like I said, they pushed out of the field, they won the ball back in decent areas, and they played, like I said, like an under-21s game where everything like 20-yard passes, triangles, passing the ball around us, which we never really got control of that, especially in the midfield area, which if you're going to win any games and dictate games, that's where you expect your engine room to be, and we never got involved. Like Emir sliced today, Ulfina, that's on a great run, but consistency is the main word you're looking for, and they're saying if you can be as inconsistent as we are and be third in the league, anything's going to be better than that. And let's say I still believe we've got loads more to come from this team, but today was disappointing, and I think the manager will be disappointed, but he'll be delighted that if you can't win the game, you don't lose it, and that's what we've done tonight.
Rainbow Tigers say, just think we've seen City's worst performance of the season and equally best visiting team at the MKM. How Watford haven't scored, I do not know. Still living in dreamland, though. You're right, you have to give credit, don't you, to Watford. I think fans expected not so much them to roll over, but the situation they're in, no manager, and maybe on a bit of a low, that this was an opportunity for City, but Watford, as you said, was very well organised.
What you're going to see with Watford, because they've got their individual brilliance at some of them players, but they're not together as a team. And I think they've been like that for a few seasons. That's why they've had that many managers come and go, and they've had no consistency in the management side of it, where someone's been allowed to run it, and yeah, got to make mistakes on the way, but gradually build what they want from the team. If it's not working in 5 or 6 games at Watford, you're on your way. But we've seen there some individual players that, like I say, can win games for Watford.
Let's go to the fans panel, and we'll pick up with you, Swanee, before we finish. Tim, evening to you, Tim. You've watched City this evening. What were your overriding thoughts on that performance?
It was a little bit slow and laboured, wasn't it? To be honest, right from the first whistle, they were slow getting the ball down, slow getting it forward, and I thought Watford, to be fair, was much the better side, and probably on the balance of play, they probably deserved to nick it. But what I think in situations like that, you've just got to take the positives. I thought they got better when Lundstrom came on, and he got a bit of control of the midfield, and sort of we got into a little bit more in the second half. But yeah, put the point aside and let's move on from that one, and then try and go again Saturday. They looked tired, I thought, a little bit.
Pick up with you, Swanee.
I agree with that.
Players look tired?
Yeah, I agree. Some of the players did look tired, but that's now when you. I'd also think, Tim, I think the team finished. The team looked stronger when the way they finished rather than normally the other way around, isn't it? Because I think the bench they've got now is strength, so the manager now has got to look at that and thinking, yeah, certain players like Burney up top. Gelhart's come back from a long-term injury, not a long-term, he's been out a while, and he's shown a bit leggy at times. So they're now where the manager's got a spot. Put fresh legs in there and see what we can get from them. But the good thing is, he's got players coming back now, and the bench looks really strong.
Tim, you mentioned about them looking a bit leggy and tired today. Given the fact that City are at home against Bristol City on Saturday, we know you here at Howard can't play. Would you expect further changes then, and perhaps a reaction to the style and the pace of the performance tonight?
You'd have to so. You think probably Miller will start. I'm not sure whether. I'm not sure about Dowell in the middle of the park yet. I think again, there's probably more quality as you get out on the pitch. I'm not sure Kumak is ready to start either. So yeah, you probably bring Miller in it. I'd definitely have Lundstrom in the starting lineup. I think Joe's been unlucky to miss out the last couple of games as well, and maybe he gets a start as well. Maybe in place of Gelhardt, who I agree with Swanee. It's not easy coming back. You play the first game on adrenaline probably more than anything else. And he looked sharp in that first game, Preston, when he sort of had a few opportunities. But then you sort of seem to struggle for the next 2 or 3 games. I think the more games he plays, the more match fitness he gets, the more back up to speed he'll get. There were a couple of times when he had the ball where early on in the season he got his head down, dribbling at the back four and got shot off. And I think a couple of times he tried to slip in McBurney in the channels, and that's not Joe Gelhardt really. Joe Gelhardt throws at players and creates opportunities and gets shots off. And so yeah, maybe Joseph comes in on the right hand side. Maybe Miller plays on the left-hand side and Lundstrom comes into the midfield, and that sort of thing. I must say, I thought Jacob did really well, considering he's been in League One and obviously come back with an injury. I don't think he's let anyone down tonight. I think he's played really, really well. And so, yeah, there's another positive. You've got options at left back as well. I appreciate Giles is always going to play if he's fit. And I hope he does play, because he really does offer you something going forward on that left-hand side. I do have to say, though, I think if all City's games are all wet between now and the end of the season, I think they go up automatically.
Tim, safe journey home. We'll get some final thoughts from Swanee shortly. Richard is told typical stuttering, shabby performance of realising the potential position of where City could have ended up in the table tonight. But a point better than none, because City's second best at home this evening. It could and should have been worse, so happy with the point. A lot of new signings need to get mingling in the City side in the next few weeks. Tim makes the point. City do have this Jekyll and Hyde. It's got better, clearly a lot better, but City do have this Jekyll and Hyde away and home situation, and it's been rectified, but it's not perhaps fully rectified.
Yeah, but you never... Football fans are never happy. They're never happy, are they? Like saying, there's always moaning about something, and you look at the position you're in the league. More about that. Should be the second, should be the top, should be, you know what I mean? The way we start the season, there's a relegation battle the way that the club was going. So yeah, we're not going to see pretty games week in, week out. We're not going to see the entertainment which we've seen, like I say, over the past few weeks. We're going to get the stuttering games, and that's a stuttering game. But the main thing is, for the mentality of the players, they've not lost it, and that's the biggest thing that the managers will take from today. They've not conceded, which, yeah, I think the better team was Watford. If anybody want to win it, it'd be Watford, but they didn't, and that's the way the manager will look at it, thinking, yeah, we could have done things better, but hang on, we're third in the league, so can't we get behind them, right? So we've got some home games coming up. Yeah, you look at it thinking, the 4 league home games coming up, if you take 10 points out of that, would you be happy? Of course you'd be happy. I mean, that's what we're going to look at, the games in front of us. I said the games are ticking by now. So, like saying, what is it, 9 points away from 7th?
Yeah. Brilliant. And still third tonight.
Still absolutely fantastic.
Just a very quick word on Matty Jacob. First game in over a year, and didn't look out of place in the initial stages.
No, he's 100%. I like the way he plays. Like I say, he's not scared of getting on the ball. He's got something about him. Yeah, now and again, he finds himself in the wrong position, wrong side, and he's always having to make that last-ditch tackle to get back in. But like I say, he's been thrown today. That young lay's team down, but I've been looking if Giles is fit to get that understanding with him and McBurney back up and running on Saturday, possible.
Well, the understanding between you and Mike White back on Saturday.
Oh, he's coming again, Mike.
He's decided to do 2 in a row. Swanee, safe journey home. Your kitchen needs its oven bits back, so.
Maybe this will be starting tonight. Not able to cook now.
You've not been able to believe the slow cook on, have you? Swanee, safe journey home. We'll see you on Saturday as part of a big run of home games for City. Danny says the midfield did not exist today. We dropped far too back when opponents were in possession, didn't win any of the second balls, and missed Crooks so much. Danny, much appreciated. Good to hear from you this evening. It's BBC Radio Homicide Sport Live. I think the likelihood is now, with 90 seconds left of the programme, that we're more likely to hear from Sergei Kirovic via BBC South first of all. Don't forget to subscribe to BBC South, search for Hull City on BBC South, and you will get a notification before 10:30 that the interview has arrived and is sitting there for you to listen to. Mark, who said thought it was a scrappy game, but was probably a fair result. Watford missing the best chance of the game. Thought Watford were very fortunate to keep 11 on the pitch. Matty Jacobs had a very good game against some overloading play down that side from Watford. Mark, thank you very much for that. So we'll have post-match reaction to come from Sergei Kirovic on BBC Sounds. Don't forget to hit that subscribe option. It's your best and first option for Sergei Kirovic reaction this evening. After a goalless draw between the Tigers and Watford tonight, frustration from some fans, but City remain third in the table. They are a win, 3 points clear of Ipswich Town, who should have played tonight, but their game against Portsmouth was postponed anyway. So City now level on games played, with teams around them, with the exception of Ipswich Town. Reaction in the morning when you wake up with breakfast. Kofi Smiles with you first thing from 6, and Leo back tomorrow night from 6 o'clock.
Getting you closer to your club. BBC Radio Homicide Sports.
With the BBC News, I'm John Collins. The Metropolitan Police has begun a criminal investigation into Lord Mandelson's dealings with the paedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein. Files released in the US suggest he sent sensitive information to Epstein about the government's response to the 2009 financial crisis. Earlier, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said Lord Mandelson